good morning, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Happy Tuesday to you. Let's get our heads right, okay, after a pretty dumb loss up in the Pacific Northwest. Not a big fan of the Seattle Mariners. I don't hate them or anything, but we never really play well against them. But it got off to a great start. I was excited about that. It was certainly fun for a little bit. Can't wait to talk about the game with you guys. Oh, my God. We got 30 games to go. And the second guest train is just pulling out of the station, man. Boop, boop. Every move is scrutinized under a microscope, at least on Twitter. And it was excruciating. So we got 30 games to go. And we will delve into all of it. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. Good morning, Benjamin.
Good morning to everybody. And yeah, that was a frustrating one last night.
It was frustrating.
I feel like there's always a bit of a hangover after the Dodgers series.
Not for them. They went out and beat
That's
the
true.
Reds
That's
yesterday
true.
and kept hitting homers and having a great time. A great time. Maybe the lights just are too bright right now. You know, lights too bright. Not ready for the spotlight. We'll see. Still got time. We got
got 2 games this series. Padres have many times the second half of the season lost the first game and come back and won a series.
Yeah,
so
Brandon mentions it, and I haven't talked about it on the air, but it is really like, if you watch this team as like a sitcom, it's quite funny. I mean, you got Schulte, who's like the greatest lead character of a sitcom that's ever been. You've got Tatis, you got Manny, you got, you name it. I mean, my God, you got all these players that are just hysterical. Like, if you watch it again objectively and as a sitcom, it's the funniest show you've ever seen. It really is the funniest show you've ever seen. Also can be really sad and touching at times. You know, sometimes it really, really touches you and gets you. But yeah, the Better Cup did not go our way. Listen, it was a fun bit when it was just online on Twitter, having fun with it. And then we made it a bit for a telecaster, and we've not won a game yet. And none of them, I don't think, have been really all that close. We've gotten bodied by the Seattle Mariners, who are, again, a good baseball team. But I'm very over it. I'm very, very over it at this point. Something incredibly embarrassing happened to me yesterday, which should be no surprise if you've ever listened to this show. I got to be semi-delicate here, but I went after work to the gym, and I didn't go to the gym where my trainer is because he's very far. I went to the gym by my house, and I'm not going to tell you the name of it, but I'll just put it this way. My child, Bo, calls it cheese fitness. All right, so you can make your
Cheese fitness.
You can make your own inferences. It could be 24-hour fitness. It could be Life LA Fitness. You never know.
if you don't like going to the gym, you could say every day my cheese
Every
sucks.
day my cheese sucks. So let's just call it cheese fitness. So
Choose whatever word you want.
the choice is yours, right? So
Is it Orange Theory?
so many years ago, when I was on the very first show that I was on in San Diego, it's called The Mikey Show. We get this invite from the people at Cheese Fitness. They bring us in. They say, listen, we're opening a bunch of cheese fitnesses around the city. And I looked down the line, and there was Mikey. He was morbidly obese. I was morbidly obese. Jay was skinny, but he was like, I ride bikes. I don't go to the gym. I ain't going to lift weights, but I'll hike up Mount Whitney, you know? And so LOB was like, I'm interested. And Sienna at the time was like, yeah, I'm doing it. She was just had a baby. So they bring us in. They go, hey, we'd like to offer you guys, no joke, we'd like to offer you guys free lifetime memberships. And I go,
Wow.
you're joking. I mean, we're talking, dude.
I always wanted to have the lifetime membership to something.
Benny,
Anything.
Benny, I'm in town maybe 3 weeks. I'm calling my parents at home. I'm like, this is unbelievable. You're not going to believe this. Like, I got a lifetime membership to a gym. And I said, so is it just for this cheese fitness in Mission Valley? They go, no. Any cheese fitness on the planet, you've got your thing, lifetime member. And I go, what's the catch? No catch. You're a lifetime member of Cheese.
It's like having that gold card they give former players at
Yes.
baseball. You can get into any
Yeah.
game
Any
you
game,
want, anywhere
you
anytime.
want. And anytime you can walk up in the third inning and go, give me my seat. Right?
Yeah.
So, lifetime membership. I thought lifetime meant lifetime. So I go into the gym and I have my headphones in. So I did what I always do. I walk up, beep, scan it in. Then I go put my keys in the locker. I walk in, I go, well, SOB, I know that guy. That's Trevor Hoffman. So I go up, I say hi to Hoffy. We start shooting the breeze. He's working out. I'm going to be honest with you. I stared at him while he was working out because he is a horse. He's a horse. I was watching him do burpees and push-ups and pull-ups and all this stuff. And I'm like barely trying to do squats and stuff, but I'm trying to keep up with Hoffy.
Good luck.
You feel like such a load when you work out in his vicinity. And he's just, I'm just.
Trevor's 57. I cannot possibly be 57 years old.
He looks phenomenal.
There's no way.
Ben,
I thought he was going to say I was like 48 or something.
He's
still.
in
57. He looks way too good.
He is in such phenomenal shape.
Oh,
so
man.
I'm working. So
I've got 7.5 more years to start looking like Trevor Hoffman. It's going to be hard.
So I go over I'm watching him kind of out of the corner of my eyes. He's doing the thing, and I chatted with him for a while. He asked how you guys were and the family. He's great. You'd never know the guy was a Hall of Famer. We say it all the time. So I go over to get my workout started on the rowing machine. I'm going to do a quick 500 meters to get the heart pumping. Then I'm going to lift some weights. I get in the rowing machine. I put my feet in. I strap in. Here we go. I reach. I grab the oar, or whatever it is, the fake oar, and I did one pull. And I look up, and there's a guy standing in front of me. And he's the guy from the front desk. He goes, "Are you Stephen Woods?" Take my earphone. Excuse me? Are you Stephen Woods? Yeah, I need you to come with me, sir.
Oh my God.
I go, "Oh, is there a problem?"
Oh
He goes,
God.
"Yeah, we have a problem."
Cheese Fitness Security.
I go, "Oh, okay." So I walk up.
Oh.
Hoffy's right. He's 10 feet from me. So he's now seeing me be pulled
off
of my machine. And I'm like, why am so I go up, I go, what seems to be the problem? And they said, your membership has expired. And I said, how does a lifetime membership expire? And he goes, I don't know. And I said, dude, you guys gave me, I said, albeit 15 years ago, you gave me a lifetime membership.
Apparently it was a 15-year membership.
This guy's not going to make it past 15 years. Just give him call it lifetime, give him the 15.
That might have been the previous management. Who knows what sort of changes have gone on at Cheese Fitness?
So I'm looking at the guy and I go, so can I not work out? And he's like, well, we do day passes for. I go, hang on. Is there a manager here? I go, I just got to see what's going on with my account because that's weird, right? He's like, no, it is, and it does say that you had some free thing, but that's expired. I go, a lifetime membership doesn't expire until you do. That's what I said. I go, I thought it expired when I expired.
Do I look dead?
I'm not dead. I'm ready to get on the. I'm ready to get on the rowing machine in front of Trevor Hoffman and like get some workout.
I mean, it's a bad deal for the gym because the gym is going to keep you alive. Like,
correct.
Hey, lifetime membership to the smoking club. Not gonna last
I was
long.
a longtime member of the smoking club. I got out of there. I did that of my own. But again, I'm being so that Hoffy's probably like, oh my God, is this guy overdrawn? How bad is radio these days? To hear Dodger fans,
here's $10.
Yeah, here's $10 if you need a day
out.
pass. Can I just make him my guest? So, yeah, the Dodger fans like, if you listen to them, radio, we are out. Like we're gonna be fired any minute because I get it every day. So I'm sitting there and I go, what's the lady manager comes over and she's like, yeah, I'm sorry, this promotion expired. I was like, a promotion of a lifetime again, lifetime means lifetime. Listen, and I told her, I go, I'm not a haggler here. I go, I just wanted to work.
I'm a little confused.
I'm
but
a little
not
confused, but I'm not mad. I'm not going to make a stink. I'd like you guys to maybe redefine your parameters moving forward. I bet you Gina the Latina still has hers. Frankie Bizzle, I see him there all the time. Frankie Bizzle's wasn't revoked. Boy Toy Jesse, Cabana Boy Jeff, everybody across the street.
Maybe it's only until age 50 or something.
Maybe.
And then you get cut off.
So I go, all right, what's the deal? Because here's what I didn't want to do. I was not in the mood to sit and go over all of your options. She pulls the plastic thing out and goes, okay, so here.
The menu
And
of
I go,
membership options.
I go, I'm on a very limited time crunch. I got to pick up my son from school. He's had a rough morning. I just wanted to get a quick work in. She goes, it's $15 for a day pass. So I go, fine. Reach for my wallet. My wallet's in the car. I go, she goes, you know what? This one's on us. This one's on us. I'll have you as my guest today. Go ahead and work out, and then you can come back in and we can decide other options. Now, I might, it's so convenient and it's right by my house. I might actually pay, but that will be the third gym membership that I pay for. It was nice having this one because I always felt like, hey, I'm getting something on the house here. We have a family one at the Y, and I pay for the one down in PB where I work out with my trainer, which I never go to unless I work out with him. So, but it was mortifying.
Wait, you pay for the gym membership where your trainer is?
Correct.
Don't you just have to pay for the trainer?
I had to pay for both.
You have to pay for the gym membership and the trainer.
Indeed.
Do you ever go to that gym
Never.
not to see the trainer? Well, that's ridiculous as well. The
It is.
trainer should be saying, "Hey, I'm training this guy today. I
Doesn't work
work
that
at
way.
this gym."
He
You
doesn't work
also
there.
have to buy the gym membership.
He doesn't work there. He doesn't. He
just meets
trains
you there.
there.
Oh.
He trains there, but he doesn't. He's not an
Well, you should
employee.
make him come up to the Y or Cheese Fitness.
He's got 12 clients down there. He's going to drive up to Cheese Fitness to train me. So it was so getting called up or like getting called up to the circuit. Like if you have you ever been to dinner and your card gets declined and you want to crawl in a hole and die? There's got to be a better way where the guy could like maybe slip you a note, see me after workout. Right? There's got to be something. Or this. How about this? Just eat it. It's a $15 day pass. And as I'm leaving, Mr. Woods, you got 1 sec, right? He walked up, stood over the thing and was like, you need to come to the front desk right
shorts.
now. I'm like, what did I do? What did I do?
You're literally stealing gym time and oxygen while you're there. I mean,
so
was there a line for the rowing machine? Like you were impeding other actual paying customers from their row time? Because if there wasn't, there's really no reason to interrupt you in the middle of your work.
It was so funny. It was funny,
man.
But it was so good to see Hoffy. He's just the most A+ human being. He's just the most A+ human being. Got to meet one of his sons, and I got to tell you, I mean, he was so inspiring to watch. Because once I was done with mine, I was walking out the door. I'm pouring sweat, and I look over. This dude's just getting settled on the bench. He's like, "All right, let's get some bread." I go, "You just did like 1,000 push-ups and burpees, and
let's just warm up
and chin-ups and all this stuff I couldn't do." And I just go, "My God, I'm so inspired by him." So it was quite an afternoon for your old pal Woodsy.
Sounds like
it was great. So I go, yeah, that'll be a good one for the air tomorrow.
Which
just
membership
incredible.
package does Trevor Hoffman have? Did you discuss?
There, whatever it is,
they should be paying Trevor to go to their gym. The fact that Trevor is there is the best advertising they could
membership stays
possibly have.
Mr. Hoffman, after you're done, could you pop by here when your debit card got declined? So, yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. So, yeah, it was quite a feat, quite an experience for me yesterday, as it always is. Never a day goes by without being humiliated, mortified, stepping in it somehow.
Well, good for you for working out because you've pre-burned some calories for today's big Odyssey barbecue that we have coming up today at around 11:30 or so.
Yeah, I think it's 11:45.
11:45.
Yeah.
So sticking around after the show for a while, and we'll get to enjoy home barbecued meats from our Odyssey colleagues.
We are also going to be recording an off the air, Ben and Woods off the air, with our pal Major Garrett, who will be here today to hang out with us in here and then do an extra 45 minutes, an hour with us after as we wait and kill time for the Odyssey barbecue that look. We've been shamed into going to this. There's no doubt about it. I'm excited for it, but we've been shamed into going to this. We have been called to the carpet for our lack of participation and awareness of the culture of the building. It's massively inconvenient for a morning show to wait 2 hours after they're done, but because we are committed to being the best employees we can be, we will be there.
Going to be good Odyssey citizens today.
Now,
Eat our barbecue.
Did
I'm
you-
going to be late to my other job just for this, so I
Look
hope
at
they
you.
appreciate that I'm sticking around.
Did you guys bring anything?
I brought myself and a great attitude.
Okay.
I asked JR, I ran into him in the bathroom yesterday. JR is kind of the ringmaster of this whole circus. And I said, is there anything that I can bring tomorrow? And keep in mind, I'm working the rest of today and going straight to work tomorrow morning. So my options here are limited. And he said, no, I think we're good. But thank you for that generous offer.
Yeah, very
yeah.
nice. I'm not going to, but if you need something, I'm still not going to get it. I'll probably make Woods grab it. I didn't bring anything, and I felt bad about it. I was walking out the door, and I didn't bring anything. And now we're just gonna. So now it's gonna go from look who. I promise you, somebody in management or one of the salespeople. Oh, look who decided to grace us with their presence.
Oh, yeah.
I promise you. I'll give everybody $5,000 if it doesn't happen. Oh, look who's here. Okay, so that's happening.
Maybe
Number
one
one
of the sales guys.
passive aggressive
Yeah.
as it gets.
To be fair, and I just looked, I don't believe any email ever said this is potluck style. You're supposed to bring something.
No, there was
All right.
originally,
There was originally,
some.
I
I
think,
mean,
one.
at least some of the management signed up quickly for.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm doing the brisket.
I don't think there was a sign up form. I think it was just these three people have specialties
Some
that they'll be
stuff.
providing. But I don't think this was like a
That wasn't.
that
That
crap,
wasn't
somebody
a
already
prompt
put
for everybody
paper
to start
plates.
chiming in with what they were going to bring. That's kind of what I thought.
I didn't bring anything.
I didn't either.
Now it's going to be, oh, look who decided to grace us with their presence. Then it will be, we'll get an email saying something to the effect of, hey, guys, to everyone, right? A blanket email. If you do participate, it would be nice if you actually participated. You didn't just get your meat, sit in a corner by yourselves with your show or whoever, your little friend group. And it's also important that you bring and contribute. It's never going to be enough. That's what I've realized in life. You're never going to be able to do enough in any aspect. Well, with my wife, I'm never going to be able to do enough. It's never going to be enough. Everyone's always going to want just a little bit more.
Some people really enjoy bringing things. They like showing off. They've got special recipes. They want to bring it. No one really wants to do the cleanup. So I'm volunteering Woods to stick around and do the post barbecue cleanup, which is what is really appreciated, I think, by everybody.
That's really nice of you, man.
I'm not doing it. I'll tell you right now. Don't ask me. I got a bunch of stuff to do
That's
today.
just a really cool thing to step up and be a leader like
I'm
that.
single dadding it right now, so I am like under the gun. But I will go. I will eat a plate, and then I'm going to leave. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say hi to everyone. I'm going to eat a plate, and then I got to go. I got a lot of stuff going on, so I got to get back to the gym, and set up a new membership apparently over at my beloved Cheese Fitness.
So apparently we have a busy day. We will set the menu for this morning's program, which again goes till 10, but then we stick around to record an off the air, which should drop later this week.
And then we stick around after that for the barbecue. Yeah.
And then I go to the other job at some point. But
cool.
From now until 10 is probably what you're most concerned about. If you're listening to this program, we will let you know what is coming up right after a quick check of traffic with Kelly Danick this morning on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Robert Half. Good morning. Looks like we can already check ladder in lanes of our morning commute bingo card. Southbound 5 right before H Street. Watch out for it. It's in the slow lane. And stalled car northbound 67 past Riverford Road. It's over to the right shoulder. Very narrow shoulder, so please take it extra carefully there. At Robert Half, they found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why the recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI work quickly to find the candidates you want. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Padres worked very hard twice to get into first place for a day. And now, once again, have to climb out of a deficit, one game behind the Los Angeles Dodgers. We will go through yesterday's 9-6 loss to the Seattle Mariners. That did clinch the Vetter Cup, as Woods mentioned, for Seattle, the first ever Vetter Cup, which they had already pretty much clinched even going into the series, unless the Padres absolutely dominated with a sweep. Didn't happen. We'll talk about the pitching failures of yesterday's game, some of the encouraging offensive signs that the Padres got early in the game, and we'll go through all the highlights coming up in our Padres Wrap-Up in our next segment. Now, I also want to let everybody know that if you were listening to this segment, our Foreplay segment, it will help you win some Padres Orioles tickets for the September 2nd game, the Manny Machado basketball jersey game. And we'll do that in about an hour or less. So keep listening. It'll only be available, though, if you were listening now, because we'll do like we did yesterday. I have a little question for you. For those who are paying attention, your opportunity to win Padres Orioles tickets coming up a little bit after 7 o'clock, I believe. And then looking forward to the second half of the program, not only will we have Major Garrett, CBS News chief Washington correspondent in studio. Always love Major's perspective on the Padres. But he will also be with us when Jesse Agler joins us at 8:35 from Seattle. And Major is in charge of the Incorporator today, so he'll be giving Jesse Agler his word that he's got to incorporate into tonight's broadcast.
Texted me about 10 different words yesterday.
Oh yeah,
he's like, what about this? What about this? How about this one?
We'll put the rest in the bank.
Yes.
Major has he's filled up the entire trough of Incorporator words for the rest of the season.
Yeah, we're set.
Yeah, he's very erudite.
He's very erudite.
He's got a smart word there. That would be a good Incorporator word as well. Regular features, don't do this. Take on Woods, chance to qualify for a trip to Las Vegas at 8:20, and our musical trivia challenge, and our Reindl Report with Paulie's headlines in our 9 o'clock hour, all coming up on the program today. But we'll start with some Padres talk when we come back. JP Sears. 3 starts with the Padres, 1 good, 2 not so good for your San Diego Padres. How many more chances is he going to get the rest of this season, especially if Michael King can get back into the rotation as soon as possible? Talk about all of that coming up next. Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Before we get into the game highlights and the details from last night, I think at this point, with 30 games remaining, kind of important every day just to check where the Padres stand. The scoreboard watching and the standings become extremely critical this time of year. And, of course, yesterday with the loss, Padres hurt themselves a little bit, falling, of course, a game behind the Dodgers, who beat the Cincinnati Reds 7-0. So one game back in the NL West with 30 to play. Padres will need to outperform the Dodgers by 2 games in the final 30 now to win the division, since the Dodgers hold the tiebreaker. The Padres now 2.5 games behind the Chicago Cubs in the wild card race for the top wild card spot in a home playoff series. The Cubs did not play yesterday, so they pick up a half game by being idle. And the Mets gained a game on the Padres as well, moving within 3.5 games of the second wild card spot with their win over the Phillies.
Do the whole thing again. That part.
The Mets are now 3.5 games behind the Padres for the second wild card spot.
Okay.
So Cubs, Padres, Mets, and then the Cincinnati Reds, who also lost, are 6 games behind the Padres.
Okay.
So you need the To miss out on a playoff spot, you'd need to lose 6 games to the Reds over the final 30 of the season, and also have the Mets sketch you as well.
All right. And then as far as, the one thing that I think that we talked about yesterday that is massively important is home field advantage for the San Diego Padres. Where do we stand there?
So 2.5 games behind the Phillies. Still, they lost
Phillies
to the Mets.
Got bodied.
The Dodgers now just a game and a half behind the Phillies, since they're the division leader. You can't get a first round bye unless you win your division.
Okay.
So first, the Padres have to catch the Dodgers. If they do, you hopefully they can still run down the Phillies before the end of the season, but you've got another game and a half between the Dodgers and the Phillies before you get there. So that's where the Padres currently stand in the National League wild card chase.
Well, you got to play better baseball than you did last night, certainly. And,
pitch better.
Yeah, you got to pitch better. What, they score 6 runs last night?
Yeah.
Padres score 6 runs. It's almost a dub every single time. And, we can certainly get into it here if you want. I mean, JP Sears, to me, seems like a guy that's, you're twice through the order, and that's got to be it for JP Sears. I don't know that that's a guy you can look for a lot of length and girth from, unless it's 12-0, right? Like if they have a huge lead, yeah, man, let JP Sears go out there and throw till your arm falls off, and fine, one way or the other, down 12, up 12, have a ball. JP, get your work in, get 100, get 100 in you. But my theory, and based on my theory of aggressive when ahead, conservative when behind, didn't really play out last night, because you were ahead last night and you weren't aggressive. You, in fact, were conservative again.
Well, I don't know that I would agree with that
How
necessarily.
so?
Well, you got 3 2/3 out of JP Sears.
Right. Should have been 3.
Yeah, it may have cost you a run, but
it definitely cost you a run.
At that point, you've got to cover 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus innings.
Correct.
Of bullpen.
Right.
Jeremiah Estrada is almost certainly
He's
down
out,
because he's pitched the previous 2 games. You need to leave him a day. That leaves you 4 plus David Morgan with your highest leverage reliever.
So that's 5.
So you've got 5. So you need 5 1/3. David Morgan's probably in for an inning and a third.
Yep.
And then you go, I thought the Padres are in pretty good shape. Even at 4-4, I was thinking, okay,
they'll hold him.
You hold him. If David Morgan gets through this inning. In fact, I said that. I was watching the game with my son, and I said, if David Morgan can get through this inning, you've got probably Adam, Morejon, Miller, and Suarez set up for the final 4 innings. All you have to do is score 1 run the rest of the way.
That's it.
And, you've got a good chance to win this game. So it just comes down to whether David Morgan can make it through this inning. And based on what I've seen from David Morgan this year, like his chances. Got that big strikeout to end the 4th. Gets to, a clean inning to start the 5th without having thrown too many pitches.
So I was
pretty excited about where the Padres were, and I liked how Mike Schilt had set that up. Yeah, you could say he's stuck around with JP Sears too long, but it didn't really cost him. It cost him the 1 run that the inherited run that scored on the double play.
Just 4-3 going into that inning, yeah?
It was 4-3.
4-3.
You gave up the 1, but I didn't think that wrecked your chances. I thought at 4-4, going into your bullpen, you had the big time advantage in that game. And then, David Morgan gave up 5 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning, and you never had a chance to get to your 4 rested, top-notch relievers that were going to take you, carry you to the victory the rest of the way.
Yeah, so he gets the last out in the 4th,
of the
and then
bottom
starts
of the
5th,
yeah,
which is, I think, the right
I thought
move.
I thought that was absolutely, given who you had left.
So we're basically
absolutely the right move.
We're missing a little bit of we're missing a guy that is going to be capable to bridge the gap from very average 5th starter to elite bullpen. There's just that one little tiny hole.
David Morgan has
He's
been that guy.
supposed to be that guy.
He had a 1.7 ERA. He's been nails since June. It's been absolutely phenomenal, since they brought him up. Had a bad night. He was one good pitch from getting out of the 5th inning with no runs scored. Remember, it was 4-4.
Yeah.
Josh Naylor was up. Mike Schilt went through it. We can go through it. Let's go through the highlights, and then we can talk about exactly what happened in that inning with the Padres, where it kind of got away from them yesterday. We'll get to our entire Padres Wrap-Up right after this check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute drive-through oil change. Getting reports of a collision on the Lake Murray on-ramp to westbound 8. Looks like the vehicle wound up in the bushes over to the right shoulder. And southbound 15 past Via Rancho Parkway, we have reports of some trash debris in the HOV lane. Before you hit the beach, the mountains, or even the 5 this Labor Day weekend, be road trip ready with Valvoline Instant Oil Change. No appointment needed. Stay in your car while they change your oil and check your tires, battery, and fluids. Coupons at SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danek with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's a shame if they lose.
You got a problem.
Oh, a shame indeed.
I couldn't agree more.
Here are the lowlights from yesterday's game.
What the heck happened? Are you kidding me?
Can't even believe it.
It's the Padres
Wrap-Up.
presented by Hamul Casino. Things are about to get real with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort with gorgeous rooms and exciting new eats and drinks. It gets real this summer at Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
We'll give it 16 minutes of salt, and then we'll, get back on the pump and figure it out.
1 out, nobody on, no score first inning. 3-2 again, the pitch. And Raleigh hits it in the air, deep down the left field line, headed towards the pole and gone. Cal Raleigh with number 50, his third in the last 2 days. JP Sears and the Padres become a part of historic season for Cal Raleigh right here, right now. Seattle takes a 1-0 lead. 1 out, nobody on. 2-2 to Gavin Sheets. Already a career-high 17 homers this year. Swings and lines one sharply to right. Robles going back. He'll look up. It's going to go. Line drive, home run, Gavin Sheets. And a tie game here in the second inning as the Padres play some long ball with the Mariners. It's Cronenworth, 2 outs, nobody on. He swings at the first pitch. It's a majestic blast down the right field line. Robles at the wall, gonna go! Jake Cronenworth with his 10th of the year. A moonshot down the right field line. Second of the inning for the Padres, and they lead it now 2-1. 2 and Oda Tatis for being at first. And the pitch to Fernando, hit in the air to deep center field. Rodriguez is back. He's at the wall. This one gonna go! Oh, Fernando! Third of the inning for the Padres. A 2-run shot and a 4-1 lead as the drought comes to a close. Nick Polanco will stand in, batting right-handed against JP Sears. He hits one in the air to deep left field. Sheets is back. He'll watch. It's gone. Line drive just over the fence in left. And oh boy, we got home run derby here tonight. 2-run shot for Polanco, his 20th. And a 1-run game. Padres up 4-3. 2 on and 2 out in a tie game, bottom 5. First pitch to Naylor, grounded the other way into left field. That's a base hit. Rodriguez rounding third. He'll come in to score. Sheets throw goes to Machado. And an RBI single for Josh Naylor has put Seattle back ahead. It's 5-4. Aces loaded, 2 outs, 2-2. Here's the pitch to Polanco, and a hard grounder fair up the first baseline. That'll bounce up against the short wall in right field. Suarez and Naylor have scored. They'll hold Garver, and into second base goes Polanco, a 2-run double, and now 7-4 Seattle. 1-1. And that's in play. Out to deep left field. Rosarena back. He'll turn to watch. This one gonna go. Ramon Laureano with his 5th as a pod. And the team hits their 4th of the night. Don't go anywhere. Now a 9-5 game in the 7th inning. Tying run on deck, the 1-2. And he swings and misses, strike 3. Munoz gets a fastball past him to end the game. Pods got 1 of the ninth, but they needed more. And the Mariners clinched the Vetter Cup with a 9-6 win here tonight in Seattle.
I think he made a few mistakes. They made him pay for it. I think that was probably the biggest part of it. Thought he made a lot of quality pitch. Thought his stuff was good. He just, when he missed, they made him pay.
That was Mike Schilt talking about JP Sears and his performance. Ended up giving up 3 earned runs in 3 2/3 innings. Padres still could have won the game, but he's definitely a starting pitcher at this point. You're going to have to be careful with. Don't expect to see him in the postseason. Who knows how many chances he'll get left in the regular season. I guess it depends on how quickly Michael King gets back into the rotation. But, he clearly doesn't have overwhelming stuff. If he, gets the soft contact. We saw him against the Giants, can get through a decent outing, but 2 of the outings just haven't been too good for Sears.
Yeah, rough night for my goat. Manny Machado had a really, really rough night. That tweener ball that normally, you see him make that swipe all the time and make that play. He didn't. Next pitch gone. 4-3, 4-1 and 4-3 just feels, massive. And 0 for 5 at the dish, just did not have a good night for Manny. So hopefully he can get back on track. But yeah, look, man, JP Sears is the blame's not entirely on him. You're staked to a 4-1 lead. You make a pitch, third baseman doesn't get it. It can't bury you. It can't bury you. You can't leave balls in the middle of the plate that they hit out for home runs. And, you can't walk guys, can't walk Mitch Garver, comes around to score. So just a really frustrating night. I mean, San Diego Padres out here hitting balls out of the ballpark finally. And, we're wasting 6-run performances by the offense when traditionally 4 runs has been all we needed to this point. And so it's, again, every move is going to be scrutinized. Every game with 30 games left is going to be scrutinized. That's absolutely fair. That's how you do it. I think the hindsight machine is when it really starts to ramp up now in September, essentially. And I think that's fair. I do. I think these games are hugely important.
I was a little frustrated in the first inning when Cal Raleigh went deep.
I was not.
We talked yesterday about, hey, don't let Cal Raleigh, he's red hot.
Well, I mean,
don't let him beat you. Now,
how many guys beat you last night? They're like 6 guys. They're a pretty good team.
Sears started that at bat. He got ahead of him 0-2. He did what he should. He kind of nibbled, tried to get him to swing at something. A good at bat by Raleigh. I think he fouled 1 or 2 off, and he got to 3-2. And on the 8th pitch of the at bat, he threw it exactly where you can't throw it to Cal Raleigh. Yes. It's like, would have rather had you walk him than throw that ball there. You just can't miss to a hitter like that. Now, that was just 1 run. It wasn't the end of the game. The game was really decided, and we started talking about it before the highlights in the bottom of the 5th inning with David Morgan on the mound. And again, I had no problem with David Morgan being out there. He struck out Randy Arozarena to start the inning. He then hit Cal Raleigh in the foot with a curveball. Again, that didn't bother me. You don't want to lay one in there in a tie game to Cal Raleigh. You're trying to bury some stuff. It got a little bit away. And, when a right-handed pitcher is facing a left-handed hitter, you're going to have those balls that hit the back foot when they break. So you've got one guy on. Julio Rodriguez is up. And the inning could have been over right there. He hit a ground ball back up the middle that, had David Morgan not touched, is probably an inning-ending double play. It ended up being a 1-6-4 put out at second base, so it kept the inning going. So now there's 2 outs. Eugenio Suarez walks, so you've got now 2 runners on, and Josh Naylor is at the plate. And Mike Schilt talked about this quite extensively after the game. If you'll remember, back against the Arizona Diamondbacks earlier this season in a similar situation with an open base, they didn't want to face Josh Naylor there with the righty on the mound. But in this case, he wasn't sure about, how it was going to look after that. He decided to, let Morgan go after Naylor with runners at first and second. And Morgan didn't throw a bad pitch. It was, and Mike Schilt talked about it. It was a fastball, maybe on the outside corner, maybe just off the outside corner at the knees. Josh Naylor made a really nice swing going the other way, poked it into left field, and ended up with the go-ahead RBI single. That was not a mistake pitch. It was a good piece of hitting by Josh Naylor. Then Morgan kind of falls apart, though, after that. And Mitch Garver walks to load the bases, and Jorge Polanco, who was the offensive star of the game for the Seattle Mariners, had already hit a 2-run home run. He pulls one down the line for the double, and that essentially was the game right there. Wandy comes in, get 2 more on another single. It's 9-4, and pretty much you're cooked at that point.
Wandy got hosed there, to be honest with you. He had a lazy fly ball. Laureano didn't get a good jump on it, and then Tatis also comes screaming in from right field like Kelly Leak against the Yankees, and he's done that before. I mean, look, the guy's defense is incredible. He covers an insane amount of ground. He was going to try to make a play. He's going to try to make a play. I guess at the end of the day, I'm not mad when my guys go out and make a play, but Laureano pulled off of going for, really, it was a lazy fly ball is what it was. It was not hit hard. It was a lazy fly ball, one that probably needs to be caught and keeps you, semi in the game.
And then Wandy actually worked another inning, worked through a couple of singles, including an infield hit, but another scoreless inning. Kind of makes you wonder whether Wandy Peralta is your bridge guy now. I know that Padres fans don't have an immense amount of confidence because of the last year and a half of Wandy Peralta, but at this point, Wandy's ERA is down to 2.97. Yeah, David Morgan's is up to 2.87 after yesterday's game. Wandy has been very consistent over the last, I would say, 2.5 months of the season.
It's like May 10th or something.
I mean,
he's been
his ERA was like 7 or 8 or something, and he has just steadily brought it down to the point where he is now, among the better relievers in baseball, for what he does in the middle of the game at a 2.97. He's gotten the job done. He's had an actual really good season for the San Diego Padres out of the bullpen. And you wonder whether Mike Shildt is going to give him a couple of more higher leverage options now in a closer game. He's had to, certainly in the past. Wandy has come in some big spots, extra innings. We've seen him a few times this year. But at this point, if you're looking for that one guy that needs to pitch the 4th or the 5th in a big game to get you to your higher leverage arms, is Wandy going to be getting more chances going forward based on how he's been throwing?
Well, I mean, somebody's going to have to. Somebody's going to have to take that role on, Benny, because when you have starters that can't get through the 4th, you're going to have to use your bullpen a lot. And it does make me nervous thinking about using your bullpen because, again, I said if you want to play aggressive last night, you have the pen to do so. But that would literally look like something to the effect of, Mason Miller for an inning and a third, then Jason Adam for an inning and 2/3, then Robert Swore. You know what I mean? Like you really would have had to burn through high leverage guys, but you were in that game. You were in that game. And, they put something together against Matt Brash of all people late in the game, and Gavin Sheets missed a 3-run homer that would have had you within 1 by inches. I thought that was gone. And obviously we talked about Gavin yesterday, and he went deep in the first. Fantastic season for him and much needed for this team. And, it's just crazy to think when Jackson Merrill comes back, there's a decent chance that dude will be on the bench. And that kind of blows my mind a little bit. It really does, because he can change the complexion of a game with one swing. So it's going to be, again, more issues for Shildt. Unless you win the game, everyone's going to question your lineup.
There has to be. If Gavin Sheets is going to continue to swing the bat like this, there has to be a place for Gavin Sheets. Yeah. Not every day, but, most days against righties, which means you're going to have to sit Luis Ariz or Ryan O'Hearn occasionally. And Gavin Sheets. I think they all are going to have to. If they all play 2/3 of the time, I don't think that's the worst option. And Cronenworth, maybe you give him a day. I mean, you've got enough lefties where one of them is going to have to get a day against a righty at some point, the way your lineup is constructed. And Jackson Merrill, too, even when he's back and healthy. You've got 5 guys there. You know what? They each get 1 day off out of every 5 and start rotating them around. And that means the other 4 play, 4 times. Yeah. If Gavin Sheets is playing 80% of the time and Luis Ariz is playing 80% of the time and Jay Cronenworth is playing 80% of the time, I feel like that's a doable situation going forward. What I'm still curious about
at this point for me, I don't know about you guys. I think Gavin Sheets should probably be in the lineup just about every day, like as much as Manny Machado's in the lineup. He's been hitting the ball really well.
He gives you a really good AB, right?
What they say, he's got the highest batting average on the team since a month ago or something. Like he is really hitting the ball well, and
hard to sit a guy like that.
That's what I'm saying.
It's hard to sit a guy. And
you only have a certain amount of bench guys. There are some guys that play every single day. Doesn't matter of matchup. They're usually the star players. They're usually the guys making the most money. But right now, I think Gavin Sheets has to be considered one of those guys.
I think he deserves to be in the lineup every single day right now. I mean, look, when Jackson comes back, it's going to make Shilt's job a little bit tougher. And let's not kid ourselves. We know what's happening. You know exactly what's happening. We know who's not sitting. We know who is sitting. It's a pointless, fruitless debate. You know exactly what's going to happen. Luis Ariz is going to be in there every day. Gavin Sheets is going to be back on the bench.
I liked Ariz's at bat, in the first inning, turning on a ball. We need to see more of that from Luis Ariz. If he does that, then absolutely he can be your number 2 hitter. We haven't seen enough of that lately from Luis Ariz, but it's good to see that it's still in there at least. And what was really good about yesterday's game is to see that there is a power swing still available for Fernando Tatis Jr. That was vintage Tatis, a 109-mile-an-hour exit velocity bomb to center field. Yes, it's not the pull that we've talked about with Eno Saris that's really going to unlock big power numbers, but it was a barrel. It was,
went out of the yard. Yeah.
It went out of the yard, And, if he combines a little bit of that with everything else he's doing, which is getting on base, walking, scoring runs, and playing platinum glove level defense when he's not trying to steal the balls away from Ramon Laureano, then Fernando Tatis Jr. becomes an MVP type player. That's all he's missing is just that slug that has been down all summer long. But he adds that back in. You've got the best player or one of the best players in baseball,
no question,
at the top of your lineup.
Yeah.
And it was good to see it last night.
He felt
it's still in there.
He felt good coming around the bases, man. He forgot how to stutter step, by the way. He forgot. He hasn't done
Been
it
over
in
a
so
month.
long. Yeah, he forgot how to do it.
He only that was his 5th home run since Memorial Day.
That is staggering.
We're at the end of August. That's a 3-month stretch with just 5 home runs. I would never have guessed that a guy could play, and he's been in the lineup consistently that entire time.
Yeah,
that he could be held to that few amount of long balls in that period of time.
I know.
He still hits the ball hard.
Yeah.
It's almost
Go
crazy
out of the yard.
that he hasn't been hitting more home runs. But he got one yesterday. Sheets got his. Laureano got his just in the wrong moment. Would have been nicer with the bases loaded.
Yeah.
An inning later.
Crony got one, double digit home runs the last 5 years for Crony. Always good to see him get one out of the yard. But yeah, man, just kind of a clunker all around. The defense again was pretty bad. The pitching was very, very mediocre. Not what we expect from the San Diego Padres when they score 6 runs. It feels like 6 runs for this team is a win in the bank every time. Now you had the stat too. You're not going to beat the Seattle Mariners with the runners in scoring position. It's actually it's almost unbelievable.
They scored 6 runs. They went 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position and are now 0 for 27 this season against the Seattle Mariners with runners in scoring position.
That is staggering levels.
Give the Mariners some credit.
They got good pitching, right?
Yeah, they've got good pitching. They got good relievers, and
but
they
that's
pitched
27 times you're in scoring position. You can't get one.
You're Luis Campusano this season with runners in scoring position against the Seattle Mariners. You go 5 for 27. You might have won 2 of those 4 games.
Question.
And you're still hitting horribly with runners in scoring position against the Seattle Mariners, which is crazy. So you're not going to win many games against anyone if you never get a hit with runners in scoring position. It's incredible. They scored 6 runs without getting a hit,
no doubt,
with a runner in scoring position. You almost never see that in a baseball game. think one of the things that I find most incredible about this Padres season, after watching JP Sears scuffle a bit yesterday, is how rarely we've actually seen those bad starts from Padres starting pitchers. Dylan Cease has scuffled. Yu Darvish has barely been available. Michael King has barely been available. Joe Musgrove has missed the whole season. Put those four things together. Cease, bad year. Darvish hurt most of the year. King hurt most of the year now. And Musgrove out the entire season. For most franchises, that would be the end of their season. There would be no way to overcome that level of pitching injuries to your top starters. There's just not enough depth. There would be no way to overcome that. And yet here the Padres are, one game out of first place in the National League West with 30 games to go. How did they do it?
A league well below league average offense.
How did they do it?
Guile, boy.
How did they get
Grit and guile, boy.
How did they get to this point? Despite all those factors working against them. Nick Pivetta obviously was a huge pickup. We've talked about him many times and where this season would be or would not be without Nick Pivetta. But it certainly hasn't all been Nick Pivetta. It's been some smoke and mirrors, some, Scotch tape and bubble gum with some Stephen Kolek starts and Ryan Berger before they were traded. Padres have had 14 different starting pitchers this year.
I was just going to read that. Letters to AJ, our pal, put out a really nice piece yesterday, as he always does, in his Substack. And under the sub-column, the winning formula, he talks about, through Sunday, the Padres have given up the second fewest runs in baseball with 491. So now they're right at 500 after last night. Behind only the Texas Rangers with 483. They've done this despite an extremely turbulent starting pitching rotation, which has seen 14 different pitchers start games this season. And, of those 14, how many have been super effective? You just ran the list of guys that haven't been effective, haven't been consistent at all. But he said, listen, the bullpen is deep and elite, likely the best in baseball. Where they struggle is on offense, and goes into basically the offense kind of before the additions of Laureano, O'Hearn, and Fermin to what they kind of project at. And they project obviously much better when you have better players, guys that aren't Yuli Gurriel and Jason Hayward and Martin Maldonado and Elias Diaz getting regular ABs. Yeah, your offense is going to improve. It stands to reason. And that's kind of the formula for him is, and again, it's the formula for October, in my opinion. You have to be able to have, when there's no tomorrow, the trigger has got to be quick and the leash has got to be short. You won't see JP Sears probably start a playoff game, right? But if he did, you get one time through the lineup, you're done. That is it. Can you get me 9 outs? Can you get me 9 outs and keep the game at 1 or 2 runs? Give us a chance. That's really the formula for success. But to get there through these last 30 games, you do need innings from your starters. That's the thing, is like you can't run that game every single night. And you got Luis Castillo going tonight, right? I think he's thrown to a 313 against the Padres in his career. He's like 3-3. Some guys have had success, not many against him. But Ben, you need Dylan Cease tonight. You need him to go 6 innings. You have to. And you have to keep it in the ballpark to give yourself a chance to win, so that your bullpen's fresh. It's rested. Mason Miller hasn't thrown since Friday? Like, these guys are ready to go. They're ready and fresh. Today bodes well if your strategy works and Dylan Cease can get you a little bit of length.
I think pitching wise, you mentioned, get through one time through the order for a guy like JP Sears. I like the idea, and I don't necessarily want to change what got you here. But when we saw the Wandy Peralta opener in Los Angeles, a week and a half ago, it's not the worst for a playoff game. It's not the worst strategy to go with. Give a left-handed look to the top of a lineup, especially if you're facing a team that's got some lefties that generally bat high in the order. Give Wandy 4 or 5 batters, whatever it is that he can get through. Then you bring in your bulk guy for your, and that could be a Dylan Cease at that point that can then go 3 or 4 innings, and all of a sudden you're into the 6th and no one's gotten more than one look. I get the same pitcher, because you can go through and then get that guy through the top of the order and maybe give Dylan Cease the bottom of the order again. And you get to the 6th inning in your bullpen without really ever giving the other team a chance. That it just is so different than what the Padres have done all season long. I'm scared of mixing things up too much in the playoffs. Like, okay, now we're just going to do this all of a sudden when we haven't done it
go
all
crazy
season long.
I mean,
but it's not the worst strategy.
It's not. And if you went up against
Weird, I can see the Dodgers doing it.
Oh, in a heartbeat, Paulie, there's 3 or 4 teams out there that, and a lot of times,
I don't disagree with the strategy, by the way, but I do think it's a little bit too out there for this team to do. It would be so far fetched for them to do something different.
When we saw Wandy start the game in LA, I was like vomiting on myself, going, "What are we doing?" And then I go, "Oh, it's actually worked pretty well." And then you have the bulk guy and Randy come in after that, so you can mix and match in the playoffs if you want. You saw the Tigers do it last year, and the reason that the Tigers had to do it in the postseason is because that's what they had. They had one starter, right? They had Tarek Skubal. Beyond that, it was a total crapshoot. So AJ Hinch was like, I'm going to burn through these guys. Now, ultimately, they didn't advance very far in the playoffs, but they got through the first round, and gave themselves a chance. So when you are up against it, starting pitching wise, you're going to have to get creative. If that means David Morgan opens a game, or Wandy Peralta opens a game, or whoever, like, you have to be able to be malleable in the playoffs because you have to win those games.
According to Kevin Acey's newsletter this morning, Michael King will not make the next start for the Padres. They want to give him, he came out of the simulated game feeling good, but they want to give him at least one either rehab start or another, extend him out a little bit so he can throw some more pitches before they return him to the rotation, which means they will need another starter on Sunday. It could be JP Sears again, or you could call back up Randy Vasquez at that point and have him make that start if you don't have confidence in Sears for that game against the Twins.
Okay, I was just going to ask, who's it against?
Yeah, it's against the Minnesota Twins. And then after that, on September 1st, rosters expand, so you can bring up another pitcher. It could be Michael King. It could be another bullpen guy for a few days, and then Michael King when he's ready to start, but you wouldn't have to send anybody down because after the first, you get one more position player, one more pitcher to add to your
first.
On the first.
Okay.
So next Monday, you can bring up extra players. But on Sunday, you're going to have to make either a roster move or start JP Sears again with your pitching. There was one other, I thought, very well-reasoned and well-argued part of that Letters to AJ newsletter. I want to bring that up. First, this hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Nativa Interiors. This Labor Day weekend, 2 iconic design companies are joining forces for a warehouse sale. Join Nativa Interiors and Hold It Contemporary Home in Miramar for huge discounts on living, dining, bedroom, and outdoor furnishings. Call or text for more details at 619-215-6893. I thought what Letters to AJ wrote about Luis Arraez was the best piece I have seen anywhere about Luis Arraez.
Yeah, no doubt.
It wasn't a indictment of Luis Arraez, and it wasn't a defense of Luis Arraez. He made the very, I thought, astute point that people who are attacking Luis Arraez for being the Padres' number 2 hitter are being over or have forgotten what kind of offensive player that he has been the last 3 years. When they called him, he used the phrase singles merchant, a non-power guy, and this is who he's always been, and now you're finally realizing it. He said that's not true. The kind of player that Luis Arraez was with the Twins and with the Marlins was a player who provided similar offensive numbers to guys like Julio Rodriguez, like 123, 125 WRC plus.
Yes.
25% better than league average offense. A guy that you want at the top of your order. He was consistently that, not only because of his batting average, but he walked more. He hit a little bit for more, extra bases and powers. He once had a double-digit home run season. He was doing things that absolutely were worthy of him being at the top of the lineup. So you can't just say, yeah, I'd never thought Luis Arraez was that kind of player. He was. But now, this season, he has not been that player.
But he also says, which I love this part, calling him a singles merchant is a camp that people are in. Then there's the other camp of 3-time batting champion, right? And that's what Mike Schilt referred to. He's the last 2 interviews we've had, because I asked him a few weeks ago, not last Friday, the Friday before, I asked him, maybe even the one before that, about Louis' swing decisions, right? And the answer I got back was, well, what am I going to tell a 3-time batting champ, right? And so there's your two camps. Singles merchant, he's worthless. Guys, 3-time batting champ. What are we talking about here? And there are still some of those camps. Now, I would say more people are moving over to this camp than have been in the 3-time batting champ, but the guy Skipper, the guy that writes the lineup, he's in the 3-time batting champ camp.
Yeah.
And he says both are overlooking what should be the focus of discussion on Ariza's role on the San Diego Padres. And he talks about, Benny, the WRC plus 123, aligned with Kyle Schwarber, Wilson Contreras, Marcus Semien, a top 50 mark in the league. If that Luis Ariza is in the 2-hole, nobody says a word. Nobody says a word. The singles merchant camp, he said, this is by far his worst year, WRC plus, all of that. He hasn't been really productive this year. He just hasn't been what he is capable of being. And nobody really knows what's going on. He's always swung out of the zone. Always. It's not like he's really, this year he went fishing for balls out of the zone. He's always hit balls out of the zone. Always. But his soft contact rate is through the roof. His exit velo is way down, career lows. That doesn't bode well.
I would like to pose the question at least, because batting champion is a bit of a false construct. If he had the exact same offensive numbers for his career, but someone finished 1 point ahead of him every single year, and he has 0 batting titles in his career, and he's finished second 3 times, but you can't call him a 3-time batting champ, would the narrative be different about Luis Ariza?
Yes.
And that has nothing to do with him. That could have been any other player in baseball. Freddie Freeman could have had a better season one year. In the American League, someone else could have finished a point ahead of him, and you would have said, oh, he's a 0-time batting champion. And you would no longer defer so much to Luis Ariza. You say, this is the kind of player he is. This is the offense he delivers. When he is putting it all together, he's a valuable offensive player. When he's not, which we have seen this year, he's just not at least valuable enough to be hitting at the top of the order. Forget about the batting titles. The batting titles are really irrelevant at this point. And I say that as a Tony Gwynn fan who loves his 8 batting titles, but was Tony Gwynn any less of a player if Will Clark had beat him out 2 or 3 of those times?
I don't think so.
Because there were some years where Tony was really close and he could have been a 2-time batting champion. Is he not a Hall of Famer?
Correct. He still is.
Because you guys beat him out the other years. I think he's still absolutely a Hall of Famer. So forget about how many batting titles Luis Ariza has won. It's irrelevant to the discussion of where he should be hitting in the 2025 Padres lineup in the pennant race in September. It's irrelevant what hardware is in his trophy case. It doesn't matter at all. What matters is what kind of offensive player he is.
This year, right now. And again, guys are going to go through slumps, right? If somebody goes through an 0 for 15, they're one of your cornerstone players. You don't yank them out of the lineup. You don't move them down. But this has been 6 months of this, really. It's, Toddy started hot, kind of fell off. This has been pretty much the way that it's gone for Luis since the season started.
And again, I think Luis Ariza is a terrific baseball player.
Correct.
I'm not trying to argue that Luis Ariza is some bum who is not, worthy of being a San Diego Padre. He's just not performing that well this season. And you have to be cold-eyed and a little realistic.
You have to.
And I feel like one thing that Mike Schilt has not done is kind of put on the realistic glasses. He looks at Luis Ariza through slightly rose-colored glasses, and I think it affects his decisions on his lineup. Mike B in the chat says maybe the weight of free agency is affecting him. It's possible. He is set to be a free agent at the end of this season. He's got a very unknown value around the league.
I was just going to say, and again, you're talking about a guy who over the weekend went to Twitter, searched his name, and started blocking people that had anything negative to say about him. I would say 100% it's affecting him. And you have national shows. Mike Petriello was tweeting about it this weekend. That's why I was trying to tell Schilte on Friday, hey, man, this isn't from me or Padres Twitter. This is from baseball. They argue about his value on every talk show, on every MLB show, on every MLB network program. They argue about it on our show. They argued about it across the street. They argue about it everywhere. Mike Petriello's tweeting about it. The guy, not Gaetti, who's great, the NEPTA guy, not enough people talk about. He's brilliant. Talks about him every day. Now, he loves him. He's in the 3-time batting champ category. What I'm saying, though, is he's talked about every single day. He is one of the most fascinating case studies in the game of baseball today, because every single manager that has ever had him says, give me 9 of them. Problem is, you ain't winning with 9 Luis Arises. You're not. You have 9 Luis Arises in your lineup. It's a pitcher's dream. Weak contact, might get you on a single. That's about it. But he's one of the most interesting, talked about, poured over players in baseball. That's it. And so, at this point, I think it's very clear it's getting to him. He put something on Instagram, a guy carrying the weight of the world on his back, walking up a hill. I went, oh my God, it's really, really gotten to him. So,
and what kind of personality?
Of course,
it's
positive,
bubbly, light, and honestly, it's the hardest thing to do at the end of the season. But he kind of has to get back to that.
Got to.
Stop worrying about it. Just go out and have fun. I think it might even be a weight off his shoulders if Mike Shildt dropped him lower in the order, and he maybe doesn't feel quite so much.
Right.
He can just go out and hey, anything I do from the 7 or 8 hole is just absolute gravy to this offense. If he went lower in the order, it might actually cause him to break out and play a little bit more like Luis Ariz. I think it's too late to totally fix things this season. I think Luis Ariz, you see him take pitches. He takes a lot of strikes. He needs to take more balls at some point. And I'm not saying that he can't get hits and he can't swing at pitches that he thinks he can do damage on, but he's got to find that temperament where he doesn't necessarily, he's just playing into the pitcher's hands sometimes.
Every time.
He fouls off a bunch of pitches, 8-9 pitch at bat, but he's still 1-2 in the count.
Right.
And the pitcher is never going to feel that scared to continue to throw bad pitches if he knows, hey, he's probably just going to foul it off even if I, throw it 3 inches off the plate. So I'm never going to give him anything great to hit, and he'll still get a hit every once in a while.
It'd be really cool if the clock turned October and the page turned, and he decided to rope-a-dope everybody and stop taking, doing the statue.
There's one player who probably could do it.
It's probably him.
Probably Luis Ariz.
Hey, yeah, I'm going to do my statue take. Actually, no, I'm not. And I'm going to absolutely pound one.
He's won once.
Yeah, he did.
Yesterday. Didn't work out, but he tried.
Yep.
All right. That's some good stuff from Letters to AJ. I always appreciate his newsletters, and that was a particularly good one if you want to check it out. All right, we've got Don't Do This coming up in our next segment. Before that, though, as I promised, we're going to give away some Padres-Orioles tickets to the game on September 2nd. You had to be listening earlier in the show, though. Which former Padre did Woodsy run into at his gym yesterday? Be the third caller at 833-288-0973 with the correct answer, and you'll get 2 tickets to the Padres-Orioles game on September 2nd. First 40,000 fans in attendance will receive a Manny Machado City Connect basketball jersey. Get your tickets at padres.com/tickets.
Yesterday was unequivocally one of the weirdest days in baseball all season. There's 6 instances to talk about and Don't Do This.
All right, we will get to all of that coming up next after a check of traffic. It's Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place. Hey players.
Congratulations to Robert, who wins the Padres Orioles tickets. We'll be giving them away all week for the Manny Machado basketball jersey, the City Connect basketball jersey game. He knew that Woods ran into Trevor Hoffman at his gym yesterday, where nothing mortifying at all happened to Woods while he was there.
Go listen to the Open if you missed it. It's a pretty good one. One of my better ones.
All right, you've got a ton of don't do this stories, so you're just going to go through kind of list style for all the DDTs that you saw yesterday.
Well, listen, man, Wilson Contreras is probably one of my least favorite baseball players. He's always spoiling for something, dude. Always starting S with the other team, with the umpires.
He also dominates the Padres.
He owns us. He absolutely owns us. No question. That's another reason I don't like him. But so yesterday he was at the plate, and I believe it was a full count, and there's a pitch thrown. Bro, it's right down the middle. And he knew it. This is the funny part. He knew it, so he started walking away. Now he turns and says something to the umpire. Remember, it's a strike. He said he knew it was a strike. What would you have to say to the umpire? He said he told the umpire, he goes, I didn't argue any pitch. All I said was, call the pitches on both sides because you're missing for us. Then I turned around. The next thing I hear, he threw me out. There's no reason for it. Apparently, he heard something he thought I said. I did not say that. You don't get the benefit of the doubt if you're him. So then He gets run. His coaches come out. He ends up throwing his bat towards an umpire, but it hits one of his own coaches. Then he goes into the dugout, hits the high chew, like the little high chew fruit gum or whatever.
Shucks
it out. There's high chew everywhere. They got to stop down the game, pick it up. I tweeted last night. He is what people think Manny Machado is. He is actually what people think Manny is.
Pretty good, yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's 100% true. That was insane. He's going to be suspended 10 games. It's got to be. You cannot throw your bat at an umpire and then mistakenly hit your coach. You can't. This is little league nonsense from that guy.
It's tough because he hit one of his own coaches. Presumably, they don't want him suspended.
Correct.
Does he have any say in that? No, it was fine. I wanted to get it.
I won't press charges.
I got in the way of the bat. It was my fault.
Yeah, I won't press charges against him. So you had that. This happens throughout the course of a frustrating season, but I don't know if you guys saw the video of Stephen Vogt and Tanner Bybee.
I did not see. I saw
this. Vogt stalking him
Chasing
through
him
the
down.
dugout, but I didn't see what led to it, and I didn't see anything that happened after.
Listen, Bybee had a rough inning. He's pissed. He's fired up. This happens, man. It happens, in clubhouse.
Things are not going well for the Guardians.
Things are not going well for the Guardians. Bybee gives up a bunch of runs. He comes in and he goes, rah, 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 and he's screaming in the dugout. Vogt is following him like, hey, shut your pie hole. We're in the middle of a game. This is your dugout. Bybee turns away from him. Vogt chases him down. This is all in the dugout. There was no down in the tunnel. None of that mess. That was super weird. Tarek Skubal is on the bump against the A's last night.
Oh, my God.
He throws a pitch. Oh, it's a deep drive to left field. The A's set off their, home run celebrations. Foul ball. It's a foul ball. They hit a foul ball. So Skubal comes in, strikes the guy out. Then walks off and he's like, you guys going to play it again? Is it like hey, we do this again? Then he gives up a grand slam to lose the game. I mean, it was a total S show. This one, though, I've never seen anything like this. Alec Boehm, they're playing the Mets, and they're up 3-1, I believe, at the time. And they got Christopher Sanchez on the bump. Alec Boehm, for whatever reason, Ben, he grounds into a double play, and then you see him stop, point at the umpires and show them something in center field. He goes to his manager. Hey, there's something out there. Well, it's a parabolic mic that apparently has been there forever, but he didn't like it in his sight line, he said, which is why he obviously grounded into a double play because of that parabolic mic in his sight line. Even the Phillies postgame show, they were not buying this. Listen to this.
Number 3, let's talk about Alec Boehm over at third base.
Yes.
Okay, Alec had a good defensive game, but what really kind of got to me, you caused a 19-minute delay on something that's been there since at least 2017. We went back and checked. That exact same thing has been there since 2017.
A parabolic microphone.
Well, whatever.
So
it's been there for 8 years.
8 years.
Can you just get this damn Western metal building out of here?
Get this out of here.
It's throwing me off.
Now, and again, remember, Phillies and Mets, this is a huge, huge series. Mets were, I flipped the game on. I'm like, oh my God, Phillies are already up 3-0. Jeez. Next time I looked, the Mets won 13-3. They didn't score again after that delay. Their pitcher, Christopher Sanchez, I don't know, maybe after that lengthy delay of sitting around pulling his pod, gets lit up by the Mets. They end up losing. And I mean, when the Philly post-game host doesn't have your back, it's pretty nuts.
There's one thing that all of these stories have in common. The dog days of August.
Oh, it's just getting to everybody.
This is the month where you see tempers boil over, patience wears thin, players get frustrated, not many off days, pressure starts getting to people, and you start seeing more stories like this around baseball.
Yeah, I mean, you see it right here in our own market, man. It's absolutely happening right now. The dog days, it's such a real thing, and it is 100% set in.
All right, I'm going to move over to baseball. Do this story today.
DD Mega Doo-Doo.
And it was very nice to see the always entertaining Ron Washington back with the Los Angeles Angels yesterday. He has been out and finally kind of revealed what's been going on in his life, why he's taken a leave of absence from the team, because 8 weeks ago, he had quadruple bypass heart surgery and has been recuperating at his home in New Orleans ever since then. But announced yesterday that he's hoping, his doctors are optimistic, that he's going to make a full recovery by December and expects to manage the Angels back next season. But the stories that he told about, he said, I haven't always taken great care of my health, smoking, bad eating habits. And he said, very committed to changing those. So much so that if you see him smoking a cigarette, you have permission to slap him.
I'll give you the okay to walk up to me and slap me. You see me blasting the heater.
He also told a story that I thought was pretty amazing. So he has this surgery, and they take him to whatever recovery, the ICU. He's probably out for a couple of days after having this major surgery, and he's kind of waking up in that groggy fog, and he thinks he's dead. He thinks he must have died. He doesn't know where he is, and he just thinks he's dead. And he starts reaching for the, like the tubes and everything, like trying to pull them out. And the nurse or whoever comes running in. Oh, no, leave all that there. And he goes, am I dead? And then they go, no, you're not dead. You're in recovery after the surgery.
Man, dude. I mean, he is such a base.
Yeah, I said, actually, I thought I was dead before. I was laying someplace. They'd put me for a few days. I said, I didn't make it. So I started pulling stuff off. Guy saw me doing it, came running in, grabbed my hand. He said, what's going on? I said, am I dead? He goes, no, you're here. Really?
Man, he's one of those faces and figures of baseball. Probably the greatest defensive coach to ever live. I mean, guys, when they win Gold Gloves, they go, here, take it. They just give him Gold Gloves. He's got like dozens of Gold Gloves that Eric Chavez and all these guys would be like, I'm not even sniffing this thing without Ron Washington. So I'm glad that he's back and feeling healthy.
All right, and that is don't and do this for a Tuesday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
We'll get some more baseball talk, what's going on elsewhere around the league. Plus, don't forget, coming up in studio, starting at 8 o'clock this morning, the great Major Garrett, Padres fan and CBS News chief Washington correspondent, going to be with us. You do not want to miss any of that coming up here on 97.3 The Fan.
Quickly, gang, when's the last time you hopped out of bed without your knee barking at you or your back screaming at you? Or let's say you walked up or down a flight of stairs without groaning every single step. There's a lot of you out there. I talk to you all the time about QC Kinetics. And, I know the feeling of just hoping it will go away. Did that for many, many months. Tried all sorts of kooky remedies, then went into QC Kinetics to have them look at my wrists. And then I got the treatments on both. My wrists are stronger than they've ever been. I've been lifting weights. I've been playing baseball again, and pain-free. Being able to swing a bat pain-free is not something I thought I would ever do again. So whatever it is that you love, whatever it is that is your passion, whether it's swimming or surfing or just walking, how about just walking around the neighborhood? QC Kinetics can help you. It works with your body to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies, no scalpels, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. Give them a call today, 619-614-PAIN, 619-614-PAIN. Once again, 619-614-PAIN. They got locations in Hillcrest and in Torrey Hills. Grab the phone right now. Give them a call. Get back to doing the things that you love with QC Kinetics at 619-614-PAIN.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
I got to tip my cap to Cal Raleigh, though. 50 home runs by a catcher, a switch-hitting catcher, is insane, especially before the month of September has even arrived.
It's ridiculous. It's your MVP.
I mean, Aaron Judge was having one of the greatest offensive seasons in history, but he's cooled off a bit in the second half.
I mean, at the catching position, 50 home runs, switch hitter. He is your MVP running away. I don't think there's any question. And Aaron Judge, you got Giancarlo Stanton out hobbling around there playing right because Judge has been injured. Cal Raleigh's back behind the dish, doing it every single day, man, hitting 50 bombs. Who's more valuable than Cal Raleigh? It's not Aaron Judge. I'm sorry. It's not. It's friggin' Cal Raleigh.
He's a good defensive catcher,
100%.
Yeah, he DHs some days because you can't take his bat out of the lineup.
Every catcher
big
does. Big dumper.
He's the first catcher ever to get to 50 home runs in a season.
Yep.
Passed Salvador Perez on Sunday with 2 homers, and he is now just 4 home runs away from Mickey Mantle's all-time home run record by a switch hitter, set in that 1961 season when he and Roger Maris were chasing Babe Ruth. It was Maris who got there, but Mickey still set his own record with 54 switch-hitting home runs, and I'm not sure which side of the plate he's more dangerous from.
What's the split? Do you know?
He had hit 19 home runs as a right-hander, I think. So that means 31, but he gets more at-bats as a lefty. So I think the higher percentage of home runs come as a righty, but more home runs come as a lefty. I don't know. You don't want to throw to him either way. He's just I know he only hits like 250, but
it's funny. MLB Network right now as we speak comparing Cal Raleigh's 2025 to Aaron Judge's 2022 season.
Yeah, where he won that running away, right? For good reason.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if it's even a conversation, I think that's your answer right there.
he's a catcher. He's a catcher at the end of the day. He's a catcher playing that incredibly valuable position and providing that kind of offensive output. He's amazing. When he hit it in the first, I go, oh, cool. Got to see a big dumper home run.
Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah.
I solo shot. Hey,
I wasn't
mad at all. I go, ooh, badass.
Because it wasn't like a how do you let that guy beat you?
Exactly, dude.
I
go, oh,
that was pretty
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, killer. Cal Raleigh home run. I mean, I'm a baseball fan for sure. I think he's just incredible. He's just incredible.
So if the Padres ultimately end up falling short of the Dodgers in the NL West, I think yesterday's 2 games will be kind of one of the defining reasons why. Because the Padres were going with their 5th starter essentially in JP Sears.
Yes.
And the Dodgers were going with their 5th starter in Emmett Sheehan.
He was dirty.
JP Sears, obviously scuffled a bit. Had
dirty
a rough
in a
outing.
different way, yeah.
Emmett Sheehan was incredible for the Dodgers, throwing 7 innings of 10 strikeout, 2-hit shutout ball against not a nobody. It's not like they were playing the Rockies. They were going up against the Cincinnati Reds team that is absolutely in the thick of the wild card chase. Every game is a playoff game at this point, essentially, for the Cincinnati Reds. And they could do nothing. They were probably thinking, okay, at least we're dodging Yamamoto, who just pitched. We're dodging Glasnow. We're dodging Snell here. We're just getting Emmett Sheehan. And Emmett Sheehan shoved against the Cincinnati Reds. Very disheartening loss for the Reds. They had Hunter Green on the mound, who they probably felt very confident in. He only had 3 strikeouts. It was Emmett Sheehan who dominated in that game. And that depth of pitching that the Dodgers can pull from is certainly the biggest advantage that they have over the Padres, the starting pitching depth that they have. The Padres did okay, especially this past weekend of, attacking the Dodgers' good pitchers, and they got some decent pitching performances of their own, obviously. But, you don't see the Padres' 5th starter going out and striking out 10 with 7 shutout innings. That was not even in play for JP Sears yesterday. You were hoping for 5 innings, 1 or 2 runs, minimize the damage, and give your team a chance to win. The Dodgers have that, at least in the holster. They won't get it every time, but they did get it yesterday from Emmett Sheehan, and that was a huge bonus for the LA Dodgers.
Well, yeah, man, and their offense, when it's good, it's great. It is great. I mean, I hear Dodger fans lamenting about all the time about their offense and its inconsistency. And yeah, like I think with every offense in baseball, it's going to be inconsistent at times. But you look at their numbers, Benny, they've got 199 home runs, second only to the New York Yankees, right? They have scored 683 runs, which I do believe leads baseball. Their slugging percentage is .441, which is second in baseball. Their OPS is .771, which I believe is second in baseball. Like, what are you guys crying about, dude? Like, I don't want to hear it. You don't know what an anemic offense looks like. You have no idea. So you couple that, Ben, with them getting guys back, with them getting performances like that out of their 5th starter. Yeah, man. That's why they were predicted to win 120 games. They're not going to, but depth is what has carried that team. And, they are a juggernaut. And until somebody stops them, they're going to be. And, you saw them, they were riding a little bit of a wave of momentum. They did lose 2 or 3 to the Padres. They were able to go out last night and continue to ride that wave, pitching a shutout, playing good defense, and getting timely hits and hitting home runs, which is what they do.
They'll have Clayton Kershaw taking the mound today against Nick Martinez in Game 2 of the series. And I'll have to also admit, Clayton Kershaw has had a much better season than I expected him to.
Benny, he's been spectacular. He's been spectacular.
He's 8-2 with a 3.13 ERA.
Spectacular.
I thought
he was going to get
I thought he was a token Dodger this year.
100%. I even said it at the beginning of the year. I go, oh, yes, we have a chance. They're going to be running this guy out there every 5th day when he gets back. But holy smokes, man. Like, he has discovered the fountain of youth and has been really their most consistent starter. So it's, again, they're going to be difficult. But, hey, as we know, October, weird things happen.
This is one of the more pivotal 3-game stretches, I think, of the final 30. Though.
Agreed.
Padres continue to have trouble against the Seattle Mariners. The Padres have the worst record against the Mariners of any team in baseball over the last couple of years. Like 3-13 against the Mariners.
They own us.
It's their worst stretch against any team since I think they went 2-14 against the Dodgers, several years ago when the Padres were not good at all. They just have owned the Padres. You thought maybe the Reds, with so much to play for, might be able to take a game or two, win a series from the Dodgers here. But the first game of both was concerning, to say the least, because if the Padres don't find a way to win, 1 or 2 of these next ones, and the Dodgers now have Clayton Kershaw, they'll have Shohei Ohtani pitching tomorrow. I mean, hopefully the Reds can find a way to win one at least of these games. You don't want to find yourself 2 or 3 back again, and then again having to climb out of another deficit. One's fine. You weren't going to win every day. The Dodgers weren't going to lose every day. You're going to gain and lose ground over these last 30. You have to accept that that's going to be a normal thing. But once you get back down 2 or 3, well, now all of a sudden it's a different scenario. So it makes today's game really important for the Padres because you don't want to be losing any more ground.
I mean, you can clip that, Paulie, and save it, and you can play that exact clip every day for the next 30 days. I mean, every one of these games for the San Diego Padres is massive. Look, they are going to make the playoffs. They are a playoff team, 99.9% chance or whatever to make the playoffs. I'm not worried about that at all. I'm worried about what they look like going into the playoffs, what their health, are they healthy? And also who else is hot at that time and who the matchup is going to be.
Well, right now, if the Dodgers do play well down the stretch and they pass the Philadelphia Phillies and they win the division, they get the number 2 seed in the playoffs, then the Padres could end up facing them in the division series again. It's at least possible. I mean, if the Padres ended up as the 3 or they ended up as the 4 or the 5, if they ended up as the 6, you could face the 2 seed, I guess, in the second round. If you win as the 6 seed.
I need them for 7. That's what I need. I need them in 7. I want a 7-game series against them. So however that needs to shake out, in 5, I don't know. I don't know who has the advantage. I'm guessing the team that can go Yamamoto, Glasnow, Snell has the advantage there. But in a 7-game series, now again, we were just talking about their depth. Emmett Sheehan, in the 4.
I mean, there's no easy way to face the Dodgers in any playoff series. I do think that this year's Padres team is better than last year's team.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Last year's team, a lot of people thought was the team to beat to win the World Series. This year's team feels in some ways better than that team. I mean, at least as it's post-trade deadline. Earlier in the year, you got that.
You
David Peralta, you get the Donovan Solano contributions. But I feel like right now, as it's constructed, you may actually be better than last year's team. But
I agree. I think it's deeper.
No one's really saying the Padres are the team to beat the way they were last year. So what exactly is the difference there? Is it the competition? Because there's a scenario if they have to go on the road right now, they have to go face the Cubs. I mean, trying to win a series at Wrigley Field, best of 3 in a wild card, you could end up not even making it as far as you did last year. Sure. You may not even get to the division series if that's your path through the playoffs. That's a very dicey way to try to get even into the division series if you're having to go on the road in the first round of the wild card series.
I will say, man, again, it's the crapshoot mentality that anything can happen, right? Kodai Senga, or not Kodai Senga, who's the pitcher for them? Imanaga could come out and absolutely get torched. Kyle Tucker, who's been dying right now, could have a horrible series. Or it's Kyle Tucker. He could come out and hit 4 home runs in a 3-game series against you and murder you. So Chewbacca says we just don't have the same momentum as we did last year. Well, it's not over. Playoffs don't start now. You got 30 games.
But that's not true. The Padres have the second best record. Last year, they had the best record after the All-Star break. This year, they have the second best record, at least in the last month or so. So, I mean, essentially, they do have the momentum. They have almost as much momentum as last year.
This team feels a little bit grittier, right? And by grittier, I mean, the ability to win a very close ball game. They have that ability to do. Last year was a lot of magical moments. I mean, a ton of magical moments. This year's just been kind of plodding along, pretty steady.
What are the magic moments from this year? It's hard. I mean, there's certainly not the memorable ones like there was last year with the Jackson Merrill home runs.
10 of those last year.
They have a couple walk-offs.
A lot of them were in the second half.
Yeah. I mean, there's still time. Remember, there's 30 games. You could get scorchingly hot in the next 30 days. You absolutely could. But the flip side of that,
I remember it was
ice cold.
It was like early to mid-September where we were starting to at least talk about. You're like, this feels different. This feels special. Something's brewing here. And it was right around like mid-September when we started having those conversations.
Yeah, I really like this team a lot. I don't have that, oh man, they're special. I do what I do feel about them is, these guys could absolutely surprise the hell out of everybody. They really could. And nobody's taking them lightly. That's the thing is everyone's giving them enough of their flowers every day and saying, no, this is a really, really good team. I mean,
they played 11 series since the All-Star break. They're 8-2-1.
Yeah, it's really good.
They split 4 with the Cardinals in St. Louis. They lost through 2 out of 3 to the Marlins in Miami, and they got swept by the Dodgers. They've won all 8 of their other series.
Yes, that's really good.
Paulie reminds me, got to check traffic quickly before we welcome Major Garrett here at the top of the hour next here on The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Robert Half. Seeing a lot of the usual slowing in the usual spots, but very few incidents or accidents to report at this time. In fact, just this one in the North County, West 78 before the 5. Car and box truck involved in this one. It's over to the right shoulder. At Robert Half, they found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why the recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI work quickly to find the candidates you want. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3, The Fan.
Padres would need to go 19-11 to match last year's total.
Very
Now,
doable.
again, remember, 16 of those games are against like last place type teams that
Gotta
are
win those,
also
though.
Rans. You
Still
got to
gotta
win a
win
lot of
those.
them.
Yep.
But there's certainly no reason why the Padres can't at least get to 93 and match or exceed last year's team if they play well down the stretch.
Yes, sir.
But
I need
again,
second half Schulte, baby. That's what we need.
then we're getting it.
We're getting
I mean, 90 wins is they're projected for 91. It seems like it's going to be another Mike Schilt 90-win season. Major Garrett coming up next.
yeah, we are halfway home on a Tuesday. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. Appreciate you being here so much. In the chat, on YouTube, listening on the radio, listening on the Odyssey app, however you choose to get us inside of you. That's what I care about the most. And we like to be inside of you as much as we can. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, the executive producer of the program. Ben Higgins is your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. And Ben, why don't you do the honors of introducing our very esteemed guest?
Always a treat when we can welcome, not only to the program, but in studio.
Yeah,
CBS News Chief Washington correspondent, host of the Takeout podcast, Major Garrett is back with us here on 97.3 The Fan. Major, you're looking good.
Thank you. It's a streaming television show, too. Also, kids, the Takeout, 5 days a week.
Isn't it fun to be on streaming television?
It is.
Yeah.
It's the apex of my career, my brother.
It's cool because people that didn't know I had a double chin before, now they do. And so it's really, really cool for people to see that.
Just to everyone's benefit, HD television, anything that goes beyond HD television is the mortal enemy of anyone who is on television. Dude, the mortal enemy.
So
everyone's like, wow, Major, you had acne as a kid. I certainly did. Straight on.
It's the word. I see a booger. Yep. Yeah, it's
so
probably a
I
booger.
want to ask you, Major, because I have to deal with that as well at my other job.
Yes.
We're on HD as well on Channel 10 here in San Diego. When I got into TV was right about, at least on the local level, when they pretty much cut all the frills. There used to be things like wardrobe budgets and makeup people.
Sandwiches.
Right.
That would help you get ready. And then I got there and all of a sudden it was like, yeah, you're on your own, kid.
Yes.
Figure out how to put on makeup yourself. You're doing all this on your own.
Right.
At the national level where you work, you still have someone who at least does your makeup for you before you go on air, or do you have to do it yourself?
I have someone who does.
Okay, good.
The makeup.
Nice.
Yes.
Good.
Which
And
in my case
wardrobe?
is most definitely necessary.
How long do you have to sit in the makeup chair? Let's say you're anchoring, filling in on the anchor desk, which
It's
you do from time
no
to
longer
time.
than 10 minutes.
No, it's it. 10
Because
minutes.
there's not much to do.
Okay.
I mean, really, there's
like-
there's only so far you can carry this reclamation project.
I like at the end of some newscasts, they'll have like Ben Higgins wardrobe brought to you by Joseph Aboud or something. Do they still do that? Do you still have?
At the end of game shows, they do that.
Among the many corporate amenities that have been sliced away from broadcast television is the wardrobe allowance.
Really?
Gone.
Wow, really? You're gone too at the national level.
So I'm Joseph A. Bank like everybody else.
That's what I
Hey,
do,
Major,
too.
you're gonna
Off the rack.
You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Buy one suit for $400, get the next three
Exactly.
for $100.
It's like the Seinfeld joke. You buy 8, you get 17 others for 45 cents.
What did that used to be like? The perks of the job. Like, did you get a lot of that kind of like a gym membership? Clothing?
No. I mean, obviously, I never ascended to the highest levels of the industry when it was at its apex of profitability and anchors were getting paid $20-25 million a year. I never got into that terrain at all. And I'm sure there were lots of I know there are amenities like if you for moving from one assignment to another, like an overnight thing, there would be a private jet, things like that. Back in the heyday in the 60s, when CBS was the most powerful news organization on planet Earth, if you were a foreign correspondent for CBS News, with your business card alone, you could rent a private jet anywhere.
Oh, my God.
And the company would pay for it.
Oh, my God.
And on that private jet would fly you and your crew, which is like 7 people. And you could just put your card down and it would be done. And CBS would pay for it and everyone knew it. And those were the days.
I'm sure that never got abused.
I was just gonna say I definitely wouldn't have abused that. Like, Woodsy, you're literally going to La Jolla. You do not need a private jet.
But Ben, to your point, recently at CBS, a memo went out, and it's been talked about in the trade, so it's nothing proprietary, and it's happening everywhere. That if you were coming in for something for the morning show, you are well advised to do your own makeup first, just in case, and do your hair first, which was never the case before. Never the case before. So all of the things that are financially stressing everyone in quote unquote mass media have hit every sector of mass media.
Well, we just lost our vending machine. Just FYI, we had a vending machine here, and we no longer have it.
I was going to get you a microwavable Philly cheesesteak for breakfast this morning, and we can't do that anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, the cuts are happening all over the place. We no longer have a vending machine here
right.
at 97.3 The Fan. It's a bummer.
Was it a good vending machine?
It actually was new. Now, I've been trying to lose a little weight, trying not to eat out of the vending machine. So I had never actually used it. It was only here, 6 weeks or so?
Wow.
And because no one was using it, they just yanked it.
Do you have a commissary at CBS?
Oh, yeah, you know,
So in New York, there was for years and years and years. In the early days of the takeout, I did a podcast there with Samantha Bee in the famous CBS commissary, where lots of people had come and been famous and done famous things. That's all. That during COVID, that was closed.
Yep.
Never reopened.
Never brought it back.
No.
Man.
And back in the day, even 10 years ago, if you went to a Sunday show, Face the Nation, This Week, Meet the Press, you would almost have a chef there and an omelet station. Almost. It was almost that good. It was almost like Four Seasons brunch style. Now it's like 4-day-old bagels and
pastries,
some schmear that's been around for maybe a day or two too long.
It's fantastic. And I texted Major this not too long ago. And you've been doing this how long?
What, TV?
TV.
Since 2000.
Out in Washington.
In Washington, D.C., 2000, yeah. When I talk to young television journalists, they really hate the story. I mean, they really hate the story. They're like, where'd you start in local news? I'm like, no, sir, where was your first job? White House, CNN.
Yeah.
White House. What?
You started at the top.
What?
I did the same thing.
But I did it that way because I was in print. Strange set of circumstances led me there. And look, that first year I was on CNN, it was not good.
No, yeah.
It was really bad.
It
was really, really rough.
And I texted Major this, and I said, so with everything that's changed over the last, 20, 30 years that you've been doing this, everybody gets to the end of their career, right? And you start to see kind of the finish line.
Yeah.
And I think about it all the time.
Yeah.
And I look at it and I go, how much longer are we going to be relevant? How much longer is this going to be fun? How much longer is this going to be tolerable? I mean, Ben, a little bit of a diva to work with, so you have to kind of manage. You're managing a lot of personalities.
I see you over there preening.
Yes.
Ben,
and so but everything has changed so much. The state of politics, everything has changed. And I ask you, because of that change, like I asked you, does this make you want to leave sooner, or do you want to stay longer? Because there's no shortage of stories and things that you've never seen before. And that's kind of what we're all in it for, right? Like we're all in it for the thing. Like I wouldn't ever want to retire and the next year the Padres win the World Series. It's almost inevitable, but that would be like the worst thing ever. And so with everything that's going on, as crazy as things have gotten, does it make you go, I can't get out of this game now? It's crazier than it's ever been. There's more stories every day.
I don't feel that.
Okay.
I don't feel that pull to do what I do because there are more stories than I can get to. I'm actually pretty close to exhausted by that. The sense that every day, no matter how hard I work and how well we try to put the show together, I've left 7 or 8 things off the table.
Right.
That's very frustrating. That actually pulls me down. That takes energy away from me. And look, let's be very candid. I'm still in the business, which means I have survived.
Yeah.
I'm 63 years old. I was 63 on Sunday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Many of my contemporaries have retired, been forced into retirement, have just been washed out. Not because they were not doing their job well.
Right.
There was just no more slots left because the slots are diminishing. And I'm still here. Not only am I still here, I'm creating a different kind of show that doesn't look like a cable news politics show. It doesn't sound like it. It's not the best thing on streaming television, but it's pretty damn good. And I'm very proud of it. And it creates a space that I've never had before, where everything in that show reflects my curiosity and my sense of how to put the day together.
And that's exciting.
That is exciting.
That's the exciting
It's also
part.
tiring as all get out.
100%.
But it's super exciting.
Anything that reignites like your fire for it, it gets you up in the morning, and if you're passionate about it,
and it's a streaming TV show, which means it has to live within all the time constraints of TV. But we do longer form interviews. So if I have someone that's on for 7 minutes, I say, hey, there's 30 minutes. We did this. Jonathan Levy, a phenomenal economics historian. We did 7 minutes on the show because that's all there's time for.
Yep.
We did 25 minutes that you can go find on YouTube and on the podcast platform. We're relentlessly living in both spaces. And that's another reason I'm a survivor, because I constantly look for ways to do what I've done differently and better to meet the viewer, the listener, wherever they might be.
Love it.
Because if you're not trying to do that, you will die.
Yeah, you'll die.
This job is completely different than even when we started at 97.3, which was now 7 years ago.
Yep.
When we started, it was a radio show.
Right.
And we did a radio show on the radio. And that's what we did every single day. Now it's
on
evolved.
The crystal set.
That's right.
It's a radio show that really is consumed. I don't know the specific numbers, but by a vast majority, I think, of the audience now on an app or on YouTube or somewhere other than just the radio, and not always live during the 4 hours we're on. It may be listened to later in the day at their convenience. It also is a social media platform with, videos that we put up in smaller chunks, with TikTok viral videos that you have to kind of cater to a different sort of audience that's not going to find you. If you don't put it, if you don't have an Instagram video about your show, then you don't really have a show anymore.
Right.
That's another huge part of it that really didn't exist, at least for us, when we started here 7 years ago.
It's the great democratization of content. When everyone theoretically is a content creator,
yes,
the space in which content exists is almost infinitely more crowded. So you have to be in all these different places and find all these different ways to identify yourself and lift yourself ever so slightly above the rest of the chum.
It's exhausting.
If you don't,
it's exhausting.
If you don't, you sink back down.
That's right. You can't just come in here and rip phone calls anymore. Like the 80s sports radio. And I give those guys, I give those guys a lot of credit for the ground that they paved. But you can't come in and do that show anymore.
No.
You just can't. You can't come in and I'm going to do 4 hours of, hey, so what did you think about Mike Schilt's pitching decisions? Like, you just can't
That's
do it.
because they were the only people who got past the gatekeeper.
Correct.
The gatekeeper.
Everybody's in.
Right. Everybody's in.
There are no more gatekeepers.
No.
Everybody can have the platform. And if you are compelling enough and you put out good enough content, you can be someone that no one had ever heard of a couple of months ago, and you can rise very quickly in this industry or in this medium, at least, whether it's politics or sports or whatever you're talking about. You can differentiate yourself, but it's even harder to do so because, as you said, there's so many people now in this space.
I love this, man. Let's talk some baseball with Major next. Let's get right into it. I want to talk some Padres baseball. Going to get your thoughts.
I was there Sunday.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Went to the game.
It's been quite a season.
Yeah.
And the mentality of a lot of us, I'm going to throw myself into it. For whatever reason, Major, I haven't let myself go. Yeah, I haven't. I'm still kind of back, kind of looking around.
Guarding yourself.
I'm so guarded right now, and I want to talk about the psychology of the fan and all that.
We'll get some thoughts from Major on the Padres. We are going to play a little take on Woods. You can see the master at work in our musical trivia challenge. Jesse Agler is going to join us. Some more Padres talk with Major and Jesse all at the bottom of the hour. Don't go anywhere. Ben and Woods continuing on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, get a chance to tell you about sdfatloss.com. Hey, I am on TV, as everyone points out. I like to mention constantly.
We had no idea.
I know, but I wasn't looking great on TV a couple of years ago. I'll admit that. The weight had gotten a little out of control, and I finally found a program that worked for me. With sdfatloss.com, I lost 40 pounds in 60 days, which is incredible, but really the amazing thing for me is I've been able to keep all that weight off, every single pound, for 2 years now, thanks to the great maintenance strategies. The difference for me is that sdfatloss.com is based on real foods from the grocery store, eating chicken and steak and veggies. That's what I ate mostly. You can eat fish. They will tailor the program for you, but you're not relying on shakes or bars that you're never going to stay on for the rest of your life. You're not taking injections. Again, you stop taking injections, the weight comes right back on. But with sdfatloss.com, it's sustainable weight loss, up to a pound of fat per day, 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 60 days. Check it out today. You can set up a free consultation by going online, set it up at sdfatloss.com. You'll meet with one of their great counselor coaches, going to explain the program to you. And when you sign up here in the month of August, get $200 off during their summer special. This is the time to do it. You don't even need to exercise to lose the weight. You'll feel good well before the holidays even get here. New you with sdfatloss.com. Again, check it out today. sdfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
We'll play Take on Woods in just a couple of minutes. But first, we want to get Major's initial thoughts on where the Padres stand here with 30 games left in the season. Major Garrett from CBS News in our studios today. And, I mean, we can't be unhappy despite yesterday's setback. We can't be unhappy with how things are going, right,
Why
Major?
do I feel unhappy so much?
I know.
I don't know why.
So I will be a disappointment to some listeners because I've lived this life since 1969.
Yep.
So every day I just feel in a completely strange and magnificent place. The Padres are competitive in August. The ballpark is sold out. The team is in the thick of everything. Everyone is talking about them. When they go on the road, there are at least 1,000 people with Padre stuff.
There were so many last night in Seattle. So many.
This is a reality that I still have a hard time
makes sense
adjusting to. Because for most of my life, not only were the Padres terrible, no one even talked about them. And when I mentioned in D.C. that I was a Padre fan, people would just look at me with this a rare emotion in D.C., which is actually pity.
Oh, yeah.
Because nobody feels that in D.C. They just want to swallow you up, beat you up, drag you through the gutter. But that would elicit like, oh, you poor thing.
Yeah, out there in the East Coast, there's
you
Yankees,
lost
there's Red
lamb,
Sox.
you poor, you just dummy, you're so wayward and pathetic. And gosh, I haven't felt this emotion in DC in 40 years. I actually feel pity for a human being.
Crazy.
That's what it was. So now, even a 4-game losing streak, which we had a week ago, I know it seems like a long time ago, it was just a week and a half ago. We lost 4 in a row.
Yep.
And then we won a bunch of games. We're in it. We got a great team. We had the best trade deadline ever because AJ prioritized something I think he overlooked earlier, which is team cohesion, character. These guys all get along.
Yep.
The guys have integrated rapidly. Gavin Sheets, to me, is the most impressive acquisition of the whole season because not only did he surprise on the upside, he surprised even after his playing time was reduced. Didn't pout. Didn't hang dog. Numbers called. He shows up.
Yep.
His defense has gotten better.
Yep.
He's worked really, really hard on that. He's not a plus left fielder. Probably never will be, but that's all right.
He's a great dude.
He's a
great
He's a serviceable
and Colonel
left fielder.
Budget will point out he's exceedingly cheap.
Exceedingly cheap. Yeah. crazy
So
undervalued.
look, I love where we are. I love where we are. And I want, if the bullpen's going to have a rare meltdown, have it now. Don't
Fair.
have it in late October. Don't have it early in October.
I feel like
Have it now.
Weight's been lifted.
Jeremiah, have it now.
Yeah.
Captain Morgan, have it now.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to be fine. We're going to be really, really fine. We have an excellent manager. We have the best pitching coach in the major leagues. We have the best bullpen. Michael King is coming back. He probably ignored the knee thing while he was all about the nerve thing. We even that out. Darvish is looking better. Don't ask me about Cease. I can't talk about Dylan Cease. Do not ask me about Dylan Cease.
Well,
I cannot talk about Dylan Cease.
You'll see him tonight, so you'll get your taste of Dylan
in
tonight.
the main, we're in a great spot.
Yep.
We are.
Yep.
And this dugout, this clubhouse can ride out tough times.
Finally.
It can,
Finally.
and it will.
And that's Mike Schilt as well.
Yep.
Yes.
Mike Schilt is somehow has been able to steady the clubhouse in a way that Bob Melvin never could, that Jace Tingler, Andy
Never had a
Green
shot. Yeah.
never were able to do. And he has been able to do that. I'm not sure exactly how, but he has been able to steady that clubhouse in ways previous managers have not.
They talk a lot about preparation. They talk a lot about the small incremental
Ball
parts
talk
of
and-
victory.
yeah.
Victories are won sometimes in the third inning on a play that will never even get on the show. Because a small thing happened, long at bat, ground ball that stabbed, it's turned into an out at second, something, and they focus on those things relentlessly. And he is relentlessly positive, to the great frustration of the beat writers, I know.
Yep.
But Schilt's like, no, I'm not going down to that negative
I'm
place.
not going to that spot.
I'm not.
He won't. And
Baseball's hard enough. Baseball is hard enough.
We get screamed at every week or every other week when we interview him because we're not tough enough or whatever. Like, and you look at it, and you're like, why am I going to ask a question that I already know the answer to? Right? Like, why would I ask the question? I tried when he first started to get him to say one negative thing about anybody. He wouldn't do it. I begged him to say it.
Right.
He wouldn't. He wouldn't do it.
No.
And yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
So Jesse Agler's like Major, and that he's a very reasonable,
very
smart Padres fan. So Major, you're going to get a chance to talk to the voice of the Padres coming up here at the bottom of the hour. First, though, we excuse Woods because it is time to play our daily game of Take on Woods. Take on Woods brought to you by Bay Alarm, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you, and we got Patrick this morning as our contestant. Good morning, Patrick. Say hello to a Major Garrett.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Major.
Morning, Patrick.
Great to have you.
All right, so Patrick, if you can beat or tie Woods in our 5-question musical trivia challenge, you will qualify for our grand prize drawing. It's a 2-night stay at Resorts World Las Vegas, 2 VIP admission passes to their AU Day Club, and a $175 food and beverage credit. Check out the summer rates right now at rwlasvegas.com. And to give you the advantage, you get to go first and pick our category. Here are your 3 choices today. We've got new bands. They're not new bands. They're bands that start with the word new. We got McLovin, 5 song titles and artists that include Lovin' in the name. And our new category today, cherry picking, all 2-second songs featuring the word cherry. So, Patrick, got new bands, McLovin, or cherry picking. What would you like to play?
New bands.
New bands. All right. So, again, not necessarily new bands, but bands whose names all begin with the word new. You'll have 60 seconds to answer as many of the 5 as you can. If you don't know an answer, you can pass. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. First question is the 2-second song. Paulie's going to play you a little bit of music. You need to identify both the song title and that band that starts with the word new to score that point. Patrick, you ready to play?
Ready.
All right, let's do this. 60 seconds on the clock. The category new bands. Patrick, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck.
Hang on 1 second. Give me
hold on.
2 minutes.
Paulie needs 2 minutes.
2
We're just gonna
seconds.
sell
2
this.
seconds.
Wow,
That's a long time.
I'm ready.
in
I'm
radio.
ready.
All right, he's ready to go. All right, 60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins when Paul, who is now ready, plays the music. Good luck, Patrick. Let's take on Woods.
That is New Radicals.
Correct.
You get what you give.
Correct. Following the suicide of lead singer Ian Curtis, members of Joy Division reformed into what influential 80s band known for hits including Bizarre Love Triangle?
New Order.
Correct. Jonathan, Jordan, Joey, Donnie, and Danny came together to form which late 80s and early 90s boy band?
New Kids on the Block.
Correct. Bobby Brown formed which R&B quintet in 1978?
New Edition.
Correct. Formed in 2022. Which Korean girl group with hits like Ditto and Super Shy has risen to worldwide popularity?
New Jeans.
Oh, wow. I thought that one might be the one that trips you up. Patrick, that is 5 out of 5. You cannot lose. You have qualified. So let's bring Woods in and just see if it's an outright victory or not. Stay on the line, Patrick. Patrick's score is in.
I saw you in here wildly gesticulating.
Well, you never know. So Woods has to play this game cold. He does not get the category. Makes it a little tougher for our daily champion. Okay. Let's put 60 seconds back on the clock. Woods, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Patrick.
You only get what you give by the New Radicals.
All right. Following the suicide of lead singer Ian Curtis, members of Joy Division reformed into what?
New Order.
Correct. Jonathan, Jordan, Joey, Donnie, and Danny came together to form which late?
New Kids on the Block.
Correct. Bobby Brown formed which R&B?
New Edition.
Correct. Formed in 2022, which Korean girl group with hits like Ditto and Super Shy has risen to worldwide popularity? Got a lot of time for this one, so
Patrick knew it.
We'll just kind of
damn it.
We'll just kind of figure out. I think
he
you probably know the category, right?
New. It's something new.
New.
I'll be wildly impressed if you pull this one out.
The K-pop a little rusty here, I see.
Minus the little.
10 seconds.
This is like the beginning of 60 Minutes.
New Tanks. Yes. I have no idea.
Yeah, I know. That's not it. And Patrick wins it.
No effing way.
New
Yes.
Jeans. He knew it.
He won
and
5 to 4.
5
to 4.
Oh,
unbelievable.
All
category
hail Patrick.
New bands.
I was
Patrick,
cruising.
stay on the line. Paulie will get your info, put you into the drawing for the grand prize. That was an impressive performance.
Paulie needs 2 minutes, Patrick, so just wait
take
for that.
on Woods.
That was a slugfest.
We're going to take a
What was
quick
it called?
timeout. New bands. All bands that
No.
begin with the word. The song New Jeans is the Korean girl group. I'm sure you can.
I'm actually happy I don't know that. I mean, it would really ruin my cred if I knew
when
that.
you lose, you actually win.
Yeah,
and
I lost and I actually won.
I would have accused you of cheating.
Not
for sure.
Yeah, I feel it helps my credibility to not know that, I think.
Jesse Agler, voice of the Padres, and Major's going to provide his incorporator word for today. All coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan. First, though, Woods and I want to tell you about the online resource that we used at the beginning of this year. We were both late 40s, and neither of us had set out a will or a trust for our families. We were negligent. We should have done it before, but like so many things, you put it off. You don't want to worry about the expense of going to a lawyer's office, and we just thought we'll get to it at some point. That is a big mistake.
Pretty embarrassing to wait as long as I did, certainly with 2 kids who I love more than anything. My family, I love them so much, and I don't know why I put it off. I do. I was just lazy. I was lazy, and I didn't know the proper procedure to do it. So when we got the idea, and they asked us to talk about trust and will, went in and did it over the holidays, took 25-30 minutes, super easy, super convenient. So go to trustandwill.com, use the code FAN, FAN. When you check out, you'll get 20% off and free shipping of your estate documents.
Yeah, it's something that you can do at home. It is really, really simple. You can name guardians for your children. You can set up a trust for your house, for your 401ks. Avoid probate court. Your family could be left with a long, expensive process if you don't set this out, and you can do it so quickly. Why not do it today? Go to trustandwill.com. Again, use code FAN at checkout. They'll send you your estate documents, put them in a safe, put them in a filing cabinet. Don't worry about them after that. Just do it today at trustandwill.com.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
The incorporator word has been chosen by Major Garrett. We will reveal it to Jesse Agler at the end of this interview coming up. First, this hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Staples. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 9/13. Save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples. Yes, we will go up to Seattle and chat with the voice of the Padres, our weekly visit with Jesse Agler, coming up right after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring Water. Couple problems out of the South Bay, northbound 5 before Plaza Boulevard. We have reports of a stalled SUV in middle lanes. Then up ahead, accident on the Division Street on-ramp to northbound 5. Couple of stalled vehicles in the North County, southbound 5 right before Leucadia. This one's in middle lanes. And a stall in the fast lane, southbound 15 just before Poway Road. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And we got a full house today, Jesse. Let me reintroduce you to Major Garrett, CBS News Chief Washington Correspondent. And good morning to you, Jesse.
And good morning to all three of you guys and Paul. 4 guys. That's great. Yeah. I love it. What's up?
4 men in here ready to talk to another man, Jesse Agler.
Just men being manly men.
Yes. Welcome to the men's room.
Yeah. Dudes being bros.
Mansplaining going
yes,
on.
Yes, exactly right. Jesse Agler, how is, what do they call it? The Emerald City, Seattle.
It's one of my absolute favorite stops that we get to make every year. Unseasonably warm, though. They're having one of those, snaps where everybody's freaking out because it's like in the mid-80s. I think it was 84 at first pitch last night, which could have had something to do with the way the ball was flying early on in that game. Yeah. But it's a great city. It's a great ballpark. I love coming here. And if the Padres could win a couple of games the rest of the week, it would make it even better, of course.
Do you go down to the fish market and watch them throw the fish around?
Pikes Place Market or whatever it's called.
Pike Place Market, yeah. I have been there. I won't say that it's something I do regularly, but I have seen it.
You've seen it once. You've seen it all the time.
Pretty much.
There you go. Pretty much.
Okay,
I don't
there's the
think
fish.
like
Okay,
the
there's
salmon.
been caught. All right, there we go. Oh, there's another
Exactly,
fish that's
yeah.
been caught. Okay. Oh, there's another fish.
I like that bit, actually. I like that.
Did they ever drop them? Stick around and find out.
Jesse, how devastated is everyone in and around the organization at losing the Vetter Cup? I mean, the tragedy is real.
The good news, right? The good news is, now that is done, you can kind of turn your attention to everything else. It's no longer a distraction, right? Now that the Vetter Cup is settled, obviously it's kind of something of a tragedy, but we can now kind of focus on things like the National League West, perhaps attaining a bye through the wild card series. I don't know, maybe winning a pennant or a World Series title. So it's going to be tough to sort of mentally get over the hump tonight and know that when you take the field in Seattle, you're no longer competing for the Vetter Cup this year. However, there are at least those other sort of consolation prizes that they can go after.
Yes,
so
it must have been rippling all through T-Mobile Park last night.
like,
On the lips of every
yeah.
fan, the Vetter Cup could be decided tonight.
That was a badass Telecaster, though. It really was like a really beautiful Telecaster that they got and they handed
The
Cal
guitar
Raleigh.
trophy.
Yeah. Oh, it was beautiful. Go ahead, Jesse.
I said to somebody last night before the game, I was like, imagine you're like just like some random fan on the East Coast, right? You work a night job, you get home at like 11:30. You're like, man, I want to watch some baseball before I wind down. Oh, Padres Mariners, that's a good game. You flip it on and you see Vetter Cup everywhere, and like you're just some truck driver in Philly.
Yeah.
Like, what on earth is going on out there?
What are
What
we
are they
doing?
talking about?
Yeah.
It's so funny. I love it.
It's good, man. And listen, back to last night's game. I mean, it's so rare, Jesse, and it's been so rare this. I haven't looked up the numbers. Go figure. But when the Padres hit, multiple home runs,
19-4.
19-4 when they hit over 2, right? Yeah. And you have a 6-run offensive.
6 runs. That's usually the threshold of victory.
That's usually a dub for this Padres team last night, Jesse. What kind of did you see? Where'd you see it get away from the boys last night?
Well, I mean, obviously it got away in the 5th inning, but I think as easy as it is to lock in on that, and reasonably, the pattern we're seeing, and this is nothing new in baseball. You want to go back to 1904, it's probably the same conversation. It's going to be starting with starting pitching.
Yeah.
And in the last few weeks, couple months, whatever, once this team's kind of found its groove, when they've gotten the good starting pitching, the good enough starting pitching, even some of the time, they've pretty much had success. And when that gets a little bit sideways, as was the case yesterday, Sears doesn't get out of the 4th inning. And I know it was a quick hook, but it was an understandable quick hook. That's when things get tougher, because now you're asking a lot more of more guys, which just kind of sets up the possibility for stuff to happen. David Morgan had never allowed more than 1 run in an appearance all season since he came up. He gave up 5 yesterday, but you're just not able to go to everybody every night.
Right.
We are still in this point in the season where you're a little bit weary of wearing everybody out in the bullpen. I know we're talking about a sprint to the finish and 30 games left, but you still have to be responsible with the way you manage those arms. So if your starter's not going to get out of the 4th inning, it's going to put you in a tough spot. And look, they've got the talent to get away with it sometimes, but you're not going to get away with it every time. And I think that's kind of what we saw yesterday.
I do think, and it's a really good point, because you can't chase every game. You're down 1. You can't use every high leverage reliever every single night. That's a recipe for burnout and disaster. But you also know that if you could win the division and get a bye in the first round, you can buy yourself some rest at the end of the season. So I'd imagine that's a calculus that Mike Schilt and AJ Preller kind of have to play as they're looking at this last month. Like, how hard do we want to go for that potential reward? Or are we okay being rested, ready to go, and just having to win an extra wild card series and then be on an even playing field and maybe even a little bit hotter? Because we've seen wild card teams actually sometimes go in with a little more momentum than the teams that had the bye.
There will be days, let me be clear, there will be days where you have a game like last night and they do that. I just don't know that you can do it day 11 of 13 in a row. And that's where we are right now. So, they haven't had an off day in almost 2 weeks. They have one Thursday coming up in Minneapolis. So I don't think last night was the night. Now, maybe coming out of the off day this weekend, in Minnesota, or knowing that you've got, pretty much an off day every week, I think the rest of the way, I don't believe they're going to play more than 10 in a row without a day off at any point after Thursday. You're definitely going to see a little bit more frequency of that kind of thing happening. I just think that last night, coming out of the Dodgers series, again, 11th out of the 13 in a row, just a tough night to do it.
I wonder, Jesse, and they'd probably never admit they do, but do you think Mike Schilt and Ruben Niebla, do you think they glance up at the scoreboard and go, all right, Dodgers are up 5-0 right now. Let's, honestly, let's kind of not punt per se, but let's. It doesn't matter what the other team does. Turn your mic on. Turn your mic on. Turn your mic on.
Turn your mic on.
Sorry. It doesn't matter what they're doing, though, Woods, because if they're losing, you want to go, we want to win because we want a game again. If they're winning, you go, we got to win because we don't want to lose again. I don't think it really matters.
You don't think it matters?
I think they're now they're definitely looking at it.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna manage their game based on their own stuff, not on that stuff.
Yeah, you manage the game that's in front of you. You manage the game
exactly.
that's in front of you.
Well, you manage the game in front of you, but you also have to manage 5 games down the road, and you have to manage tomorrow night's game, and you have to manage the game after that, and you have to factor in the off day. So, you do wonder. You look up and you go, "Oh, all right, well, no use chasing this one tonight or whatever," right? Like, isn't that a normal? Wouldn't you do that if you were the skipper? I think.
So, what do we think about JP Sears?
Not much so far,
Jesse.
I mean, it's a back of the rotation guy. Same thing, right? They're not like Randy Vasquez for so much of the season. They're not asking so much of him, right? They're not asking too much of him. It was Martin Perez, the second last couple months of last season.
Right.
Just go out there, keep me in the game. Keep me in the game. That's kind of the responsibility. That's kind of the assignment for JP Sears. He's done it once, not really done it the other 2 times. They're going to, I think, need somebody for Sunday in Minnesota. Do they give Sears another whack at it? Do they bring Randy Vasquez back? It's not going to be Michael King this weekend, it sounds like. They're going to do one more either rehab or sim game before he returns just to make sure everything is fully right. But I think, it's one of those where you figure it out. And look, there isn't a team in baseball, I don't think, that doesn't have at least 1 or 2, sometimes 3 or 4 guys like that in their rotation. And, they're not going to necessarily have to lean on somebody like that in the postseason. So it's just about, navigating this thing all the way through. And again, had last night been, a day coming off an off day, maybe it does get managed, very differently.
Right.
And maybe they do get him out of there a little bit earlier. And maybe you're not asking David Morgan to go through as much as he did last night. So it's not just on JP Sears. It's very circumstantial. And that's why, it's kind of a crazy thing to do, but you got to take the microscope out on him almost every single game the rest of the way, because, you have to look at every little factor.
Here's my answer to that question, Major. Here's what I like about JP Sears. And I have seen JP Sears pitch 3 times in my life because I never watched him when he was with the Athletics. But what I like is that AJ Preller liked him. He targeted JP Sears in that trade. There's something that AJ Preller sees that we may not have seen in these 3 starts, because that's a really small sample size.
Yep.
But there's something, whether it's this year or in the offseason, that they think once he gets with Ruben and Camp 44 in the offseason, they think he's going to be a starting pitcher for the Padres for the next couple of years and part of the rotation.
The team control we have over him.
Yeah. And I think that AJ Preller has a successful enough track record, especially with the pitchers that he's picked up,
Fair point.
that JP Sears will go on and have a pretty productive career with the Padres. I don't know how.
Point. Very fair
but
point.
I think that's where I stand right now.
But I think if you would look back at that start, he would say the game got away from us when it went 4-3, when Polanco hits a 2-run homer.
Manny's error.
And and you're up 4-1. You need to shut that inning down.
Yeah. 100%.
Bottom of the under. You just have to shut that inning down.
Alex says JP was a throw-in. He was not.
No.
He was absolutely not a throw-in.
He was the Mason Miller was the very, very, very expensive throw-in at the end of the trade.
Yes.
JP Sears was who the Padres were targeting, according to the reports, at the very beginning of the conversations with the Sacramento Athletics. So he wanted JP Sears, and then he said, now, if we throw in Leonidas DeVries, can we also have Mason Miller? And they finally said, okay, yes,
fine,
we will give him to you. But that was not the original target. It was JP Sears.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a very interesting point. Well, Jesse, we have the very, very intelligent Major Garrett going to be pitching the very, very intelligent Jesse Agler on the Incorporator word for tonight in the Emerald City. Are you ready?
Ready as always.
Jesse, first, before I do this, one of the words I sent to Paulie, because I sent him about 12 options to make sure that we haven't used them before. One of them was gentacular. They played for me how you worked gentacular
Last season.
And I will only say this. I am not worthy. You are a rock star.
He's the master, the absolute master of his craft, Jesse
So,
Agler.
In that spirit, because I know I want this to be fun for you, fun for the audience, your word your incorporator word is winkle picker.
It's a real word.
It's a real word. These are British shoes worn by men in the 50s and 60s, primarily by rock bands. They're very pointy.
Yep.
Winkle
with the little
picker.
straps.
Yep.
With
Little straps on the side.
Yeah, little straps.
Yes,
Okay.
little buckles on
Jesse
the side.
knows about winkle pickers.
Exactly.
Think Roger Daltrey, Pete Townsend, Keith Moon, and the Who. That's like I can see them, the winkle pickers, in my mind's eye. Winkle picker.
I love it because I love a word that sounds funny. So
Yeah,
I wanted you to have fun with it.
That's great.
Yeah. That's beautiful. And as Woods knows, I'm a huge music guy. So
Huge
that's
music
really
guy,
perfect.
massive.
Jesse,
Pete Townsend.
Just don't get caught picking your winkle in public. It's
No,
inappropriate.
you don't want to do that.
Oh, Ben. Oh, Ben.
Left
Did
your
you
mic on
have
for
to
that
go
one.
there?
Yeah.
Did you have to
Sorry,
go there?
That's the one he throws
Oh,
in. Jesse,
yeah,
thank you,
okay.
buddy. Have a
All
great
right.
call tonight.
Jesse, mad respect.
Have fun, guys.
Thank you, buddy.
Jesse
Great to hear.
Agler, voice of the San Diego Padres. And looking to bounce back tonight, 6:40 first pitch with Jesse and Tony. And then we've got 5:40 pregame show with our Sam Levitt, who has, I believe, made some appearances in the YouTube chat this morning as well. So good morning to Sammy. And I'd kind of forgotten that they were at the end of a 13-game stretch. Jesse reminded me because we were so focused on the Giants, Dodgers. It's been a while since the Padres have had an off day. And you get to the dog days of August, it gets tough at this point in the season to play those long stretches.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we will come back. We still have 1 hour to go with Major Garrett. Paulie's going to have some Reindl Report headlines for us. We'll look ahead to tonight's pitching matchup. We can talk more about Dylan Cease. I know Major doesn't want to talk about Dylan Cease, but might have to bring him up in the final hour of the program with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Final hour of Ben and Woods here on a Tuesday. And then after the show, Major Garrett, who's been in studio with us for the past hour, is going to join us for the monthly recording of our Off the Air podcast. We'll get a little beyond the Padres and sports. You never know where that conversation's going to go.
That's your extra work that the corporate overlords laid on you, right?
The last one was literally about assisted suicide. So I'm sure today's is going to go to who knows? Who knows what place? The darkest. I mean, the first one.
Do you need assistance?
I don't. The first one was really funny, and because it was about an embarrassing story for me, I got scammed.
Okay.
And I told the story. It's kind of a warning, but also like, look at an idiot I am. And then the next one, we just were kind of riffing, and then all of a sudden was right when Ozzy Osbourne passed away.
Okay.
And he had Parkinson's, and then there was like a thread on Reddit that was not to be believed. He passed away in normal circumstances,
Right.
but it got us going down the path of, hey man, if it's my time, and the doctor's like, buddy, you're not recovering.
Right.
What's the,
This is as good as it's going to get. It's only getting worse.
It's only going to get worse from here.
Right.
We just kind of had the conversation of like, and it just got really dark. And I don't know how it got there, but it did. So today,
I'm so looking forward.
I know, it's gonna be great.
I am.
It's gonna be great.
So looking forward.
Maybe
to
we
this.
talk about our favorite pets that we lost, and the
I'm a real weeper,
and
okay,
the grisly way that they were lost.
Yes,
we could do
good.
that.
Okay,
That's good. But all
Have
options
a
are on the
18
table.
tissue podcast.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay,
all
good. Good.
options are on the table.
Very good.
Yeah.
Major, did you have any pets? You ever a pet person? It's
I
tough
did
when
as
you're
a
in
child.
news.
I
Yeah.
did as a child, but because I've lived mostly in apartments, and my work
Travel,
schedule do not
doesn't mix
no.
well
It,
with
it
pets,
becomes
yeah.
an act of indulgence as bordering on cruelty, and I can't do that. But in my retired life, when I come back home, which is here, San Diego, we'll have pets.
We can't wait for you to get back here to San Diego.
I can't either, actually. It's truth be told.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's this is the greatest city on the planet.
It
No
is.
question. And I know you're in the
And I will live here the two times when my schedule will be indifferent to traffic, as
Yes.
a child and as a retiree.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, exactly.
There's lots of traffic. I don't care.
I couldn't live here if I didn't do morning radio. If I just had a 9 to 5, I don't think I could make it as great as
Do
it
you
is.
think, and I'm not pushing you any faster than you need to go, but how do you think you will handle retirement? My best friend, Scott, just retired at the age of 50.
Wow.
And I just don't know that he's going to continue to stay retired. He says, I think I can do it, because he's planning on just, living a little more affordably. They moved from New York City to Henderson, Nevada.
Yeah.
Bought a house there. And
Just south of
feel
Vegas. Yep.
Yeah, don't have kids, so they've saved up and they're just ready to go. And I'm thinking, I haven't even thought about it yet. I'm turning 50 later this
way
year, and
early.
he's already there. He's playing golf, 3-4 times a week.
Is he bored?
I don't think so, not yet. But I get the sense that don't you think at some point in the next few years, I just don't know that I could.
So
I could turn it off at age 50.
Look, I'm like as I mentioned, I just turned 63. So this is a real mental conversation. It's a family conversation. I'm getting nearer and nearer to it. And I've talked to my friends who have retired, and they have one phrase that keeps ringing through my head. You don't retire from something, you retire to something.
Yes.
If you don't have a plan, if you don't have an intentionality about it, it's going to be more complicated.
Really good.
It's a great one. It's a great one. I
So-
feel like
so when I think about retiring, I think about retiring from the day-to-day Washington journalism career. I've lived in DC since 1990. I will not stop writing.
Yeah.
I will not stop being probably asked for interviews about things.
Oh, yeah, we didn't tell you. You're going to be 3 days a week.
I'm going to be the intern.
3
I'll be
days
the
a week.
intern,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I mean, at least 3 days a week.
Call time is 5:15 a.m.
Yeah,
Okay,
5:15.
right.
3 days a week. It's no big deal.
Like
Give me
you're
something to
you'll
do.
be staging.
You'll-
with
Yeah,
us.
staging.
Hey, Major.
You'll text me the food orders the night
Yes,
before.
yes.
And I'll
It'll
bring
be
them
it'll be really good for your brand.
Yes, it'll help your brand. The funny thing is I always threaten Betty with it all the time. Like I'm done here pretty soon. I can't do this much longer. But for me, with small kids, it would be the optimum time too, because
Right.
if I could full time, literally just coach little league and flag football. I don't know that there's a happier version of me that exists. I would be sitting around the house waiting for them to get home,
Right.
which is pretty much what I do anyway. And then to be able to coach, I would be doing lineups and stats and like this is the bummer. Is like this is the time I should retire so that I can be a father to my kids all the time.
Right.
That is my dream job.
Sure.
And I haven't been able to convince my wife to let me be a stay-at-home dad yet. I'm chipping away. I mean, I'm chipping away at it. I'm doing a really good job with her out of town. Like I'm really chipping away at it. But for me, that's the most rewarding thing I do by far.
Oh yes, no question.
It's not even close, and I love it. I love doing it. So it's like if I had the money to do it, I love you guys. I'd be gone. I mean, I would be gone right now. There's no question.
Yeah, look, and my kids are all up and out on their own.
Yeah.
My youngest is 25, 28, 30. So they're all up and defining their lives and doing a brilliant job at that work. I missed a lot of it when I was I mean, I was heavy White House stuff.
100%.
But I took time out on the road to record books. And I would send the tapes back then.
Oh, that's rad.
And they'd fall asleep listening to my voice on cassette tapes.
Oh, that's so cool.
Wow.
That was one of the ways that I tried to live in both places. That was long before FaceTime. I mean, it was
it's easier
It was
now.
the basic technology of the time.
Yeah.
But a cassette tape player for me that I put in a FedEx pouch, get it out there. It'd arrive a couple of days
That's
later.
incredible.
That's
incredible.
Dad's here. Dad's with us. At least we fall asleep. So you do whatever you can to try to bridge those gaps. If the gaps exist, and in my life at that time, they really did. They were heavy.
That's really cool.
My buddy's on his way to the driving range right now.
Is he listening right now? So not bored.
The frustrating part for me, of course, is that I've always been slightly, but better golfer this entire time. In the last 3 months since he's retired, he's passing me. I'm not going to be able to keep up because he has all the time now to practice and play, and I'm here, toiling away at my 2 jobs, and I'm losing ground fast here.
We all did a round at Ramshill. You're all very good golfers.
I mean, very good is very subjective. I don't think I've played since.
We're going to run that back anytime soon.
We are,
yeah, we absolutely should.
All right, Padres against the Mariners. You got to win. Got to win one of these two. Otherwise, you're heading to another 4-game losing streak, just like you had right before the 5-game winning streak. And you don't want to just alternate winning and losing streaks the rest of the season. That's not going to make up any ground. So
I need this to be the last losing streak.
Padres have done a good job the second half of the season. I believe 5 times now this season, or 6 times now, where they've lost the first game of the series and then gone on to still win the series and come back and erase that first game for whatever reason, didn't go their way. They've bounced back and done well. And it does usually require some decent starting pitching, which means, it's Dylan Cease's turn to step up tonight for the San Diego Padres. And I still don't understand. I do not understand this version of Dylan Cease, who still strikes out a lot of batters, looks dominant for 2 or 3 innings of his outing.
He's second in Major League Baseball in strikeouts.
He's up there behind, Tarek Skubal, I think, is still leading, but Dylan Cease is certainly having another quality campaign when it comes to swing and miss. He just seems to have that inning that gets away from him 2 out of 3 starts essentially this year. And I made the point earlier, Major, that I don't think it would have been possible at the beginning of the season. No Joe Musgrove. Yu Darvish isn't going to be available until August. Michael King's going to miss about 3 months in the middle of the season. And Dylan Cease is going to have the worst year of his career. I would say, are the Padres in last place, or did they stay ahead of the Rockies?
Right.
I mean,
we had that conversation in April. We're all saying we're under 500.
Of course.
Oh, yeah. I picked him right at 500. I really did. I picked him at 500.
And you
That's
thought,
before a lot of the
Michael
injuries.
King would have a good season,
And I
and
thought
Dylan
Dylan
Cease would have
Cease,
a good season.
Yeah, I just didn't think we
had
had
this
the depth.
conversation. We're scratching 10 games under 500, maybe 7.
Yeah.
Out of it.
100%. Giants above us.
Yeah.
Diamondbacks for sure above us.
Yeah.
In order to win, and other teams have to lose, right? And the Diamondbacks losing Corbin Burns and not getting off to good starts, and all of that factors in to the Padres look at it and they go, all right, now there's a real opportunity here. And they do play their best baseball, sometimes late in games. They play their best baseball late in the season. This has been a trend since Mike Schultz has taken over. And you can't quantify that. Mike Schultz wins 90 games every year and his teams get better in the second half. I don't know what it is. You can't bottle it. You can't sell it. But it's absolutely been a thing, and you have to just kind of ride that out.
And look, I was kidding earlier. Dylan is obviously a phenomenal pitcher. He has incredible stuff, swing and miss stuff. But I think there is a kind of addiction he falls into on the strikeout. And soft contact, the batter hitting your pitch, is the way to go 6 innings, way to go 7 innings, way to minimize bad innings and be efficient.
Yeah, command is what
I will
what's been
challenge
lacking.
a little bit though, because Dylan Cease has always been a good innings eater,
He has.
despite being a good strikeout pitcher in his career. He threw. I mean, last year we saw him go in the 6th, 7th, even 8th, but
not this year,
quite regularly. But this year he hasn't been able to combine the two. And I think for me, and I don't have the numbers specifically on this, other teams are doing a better job spoiling pitches against Dylan. A lot more foul balls than I think he used to throw,
and that's very taxing.
It's messing him up, and he gets taxed, and then he gets that second to third time through the order where he's thrown a few more pitches, and all of a sudden, couple bloops in there, and one bad pitch, and it's a 3-run homer or it's a 2-run double, and what looked like a really good start ends up being not so good of a start for Dylan Cease.
Yeah, and you look at him and you see the lightning potential. I mean, every time you see some of the best hitters in the game look straight up foolish. I mean, look completely overmatched by Dylan. You're like, oh my God, this guy's going to go 7. It's going to be another Nick Pivetta kind of thing where he's just a bulldog. He's just going to, but it doesn't happen. Somewhere in there, things get a little wobbly. When they get wobbly, he does not reassert himself and sort of command the moment.
Yeah, no question. And like the last game he pitched, defense fell apart on him, and he was able to get out of that. Let up 1 run, and I said on the air, I'm like, that's not a guy like tonight. If you're Manny and you're Xander and you're Crony and you're Luis and you're Laureano, talk like you've got to make plays behind Dylan Cease or things can get out of control. I just did his numbers, Ben. He's got 137 innings pitched. 137 2/3 in 26 starts, average of about 5 2/3 a start, which isn't terrible.
No.
But for him, what's he on pace for? He'll get how many more starts?
Probably 5 more starts.
Okay, so he's not going to get 180 innings.
No.
He's just not.
And
that's what you need him for. You need him 180.
He has elite stuff, but he does not have elite statistics.
Correct. And again, it's for him. It's just command.
I think the fastball command in particular.
Yes.
And Mud points this out a couple of times. You get ahead in the count, and hey, 0-2, great. You can put him away, but he'll throw a fastball that's just not competitive. It's like he tries to get you to bite, but it's 2 feet out of the zone.
Yeah.
And it's just okay. So now it's ball. Now it's a 2-2 count, and all of a sudden you're going 5, 6, 7 pitches deep on another hitter. He's got to find, as you Major said, a way to get quicker outs. In the first or second pitch, or when he gets ahead of a guy, you got to put him away a little quicker. Get him to know, hey, this pitch could be a strike. It might not be a strike. I've got to be swinging. But they've been laying off those 0-2, 1-2 pitches because they just haven't been tempting enough for the most part this season for Cease.
And you talked about a rise earlier with the impending free agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing for Dylan Cease. This is like the one hill I've died on this year. Everyone's like, oh, he's crushing himself in free agency. I don't think he is. With that stuff that he has, with those gaudy strikeout numbers he will have at the end of the year, he's going to get paid.
Yeah.
He's going to get paid. I was really encouraged when the trade deadline came and went and he stayed. And I went, oh, this has got to be a little bit of relief. And in fact, I know it was a relief because Paulie and I and Ben, we talked to his girlfriend in the airport and she told us, this is when we went to Philly. She's like, yeah, I mean, we're on a kind of a wreck. We don't know if we're going to be in Boston or New York.
Day of June.
It's the last day of June. And we talked to her and she's like, yeah, I mean, it's all up in the air. We don't know where we're going. And I thought once it came and went, okay, I can relax a little bit. Now I got to go pitch for my money. I'm going to get paid next year.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to absolutely eat in the second half. And he did. He did in that first start after. He was nasty. And, that's what we need from him is that like, I got to take this thing over.
So where do you slot him in the playoff rotation?
Third. Or no, depends on, maybe first. Get out of the way. I really don't know. And you go attack bullpen with a very short leash.
It all depends on
who you're playing, where
Darvish
you're playing.
and King. How much did you have to win? Did it come down to the final game of the regular season to get to wherever you're at?
Because if you're in a 5-game series and you lose the first 2 games, that's not my guy in game 3. I gotta hold something back, but I can't go into. I would hate to not pitch Nicky P, right?
Right, you got to.
Yeah, obviously, you have to. Nicky P's probably my game 1 starter.
Yes.
Do you have to throw your best starter game 1?
Yeah.
Do you have to?
Yeah,
you do.
Do you?
Especially in a short series.
Okay.
I just don't know. If Michael King comes back and looks like Michael King, he
Then
might be
he
your
may be your
one.
one.
I go
Pivetta 2.
King, Pivetta, Darvish. And then I it's probably too much too out of the box, but I like the idea of Wandy opener and then give me 3 to 4 innings of Dylan Cease at max effort.
Yeah.
And then take him out for the bullpen in like your game 4 of a series. Is that too much? Would they actually do that with Dylan Cease, who was supposed to be an ace, and turn him into more of a bullpen, innings of bulk guy out of the bullpen after an opener? That would be weird, but based on what he's done this season, which means he's dominated the first time through, if you can get through an opener with one of your bullpen guys, whether it's Wandy against some lefties, did it against the Dodgers, give him 5 outs, then give Dylan the bottom of the order and then all the way through the order one more time. So like 3 to 4 innings, you could get to the 6th and turn things over to your bullpen without maybe even giving up any runs at all. And I mean, isn't that the best case scenario in the playoffs? But you give Dylan the top of the order twice, feels like they're going to get him that second time around.
Yeah, that reads right to me. That does.
It does read right. I mean, and again, like he's just going to be, and I think last year, him volunteering or them asking him to go on 3 days rest, and it just didn't go well.
No.
I mean, it just didn't go well. That's a really
Kirsten
really tough.
says Nestor Cortez could get a start in the postseason. I see Nestor Cortez as being I see him being as a bulk guy as well.
Sure.
If you get a short start out of a righty, hey, Yu Darvish may only be solid. He starts looking shaky in the 3rd or 4th inning. You go to Nestor Cortez for 2-3 innings, and that gets you to your bullpen at the end of the game as well.
It's like Angelo says, and this is why I say you have to start your number 1 starter in game 1. If it's here in San Diego, Dylan Cease could get the ball. If it's anywhere else, absolutely not, right? I mean, you have to look at the splits. His splits are pretty nuts. So Nick Pivetta pitches obviously way better at Petco Park. So all this has to be taken into account. There's really no wrong answers. If everybody is healthy and firing like they're supposed to be, there's no wrong answers. You're good. Your bullpen's elite. It's attack. You can shorten games like a madman, and you can you're going to burn through those guys in the postseason because that's what you do.
So you're much closer to this than I am. Do we think there is any possibility, even a slight microscopic possibility, that Musgrove does anything in the playoffs?
I do.
1%, at least.
I think more than that.
No, I'm saying, but non-zero.
Yeah,
non-zero.
There's absolutely a chance.
Here's my prediction: if Joe Musgrove proves that he's healthy enough to come back and throw 1 inning,
just 1,
Yuki Matsui is not necessary on a postseason roster.
Yeah.
He will be shut down with whatever ailment they can come up with, and Joe Musgrove will get that last spot, and you can use that at Petco Park. You bring in Joe Musgrove
the place
at
goes
any
nuts.
point.
The place goes
you
nuts.
can change the entire electricity of a series.
The place goes
with
absolutely
with that
bonkers.
moment. It's a card that I think Mike Schilt can have in his.
I got
in
chills
his
thinking
deck.
about it.
Yeah,
I just did.
Can you imagine that walk in?
Yeah,
that walk in.
Yeah,
I'd
It
love
doesn't even have to be a high leverage situation.
No,
it's
right.
when your team and your stadium needs an emotional boost.
Yeah,
and that could carry over
that
for the rest of
outfield
the
fence
series.
opens up, and
right.
freaking Joe Musgrove comes
Java
through.
Joe comes in.
I love it.
The place would go absolutely
It's
bonkers.
Major League when Rick Vaughn comes in and, out of the relief. I mean, the place goes absolutely insane. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll come back. We still have our Reindl Report headlines to get to. Heading toward 10 o'clock, Major Garrett in studio. Don't go away. Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, talking about daily fantasy sports. I've been doing it the past year with Prize Picks. I felt very comfortable when I started my Prize Picks journey. Downloaded the app. It was really simple to use. Set my first couple of lineups. I go, all right, this is fun. You can play, set your own games, play your own way with Prize Picks. All you're doing is picking against the stats. You take your favorite players in baseball, football, picking between 2 and 6 players, and then just picking more or less. If it's baseball, maybe it's hits or RBI plus runs scored plus home runs, or if it's pitchers, strikeouts in a game, more or less than like 5.5. And the more you put together, the more you can win with real cash. Right now, when you download the Prize Picks app, use the code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code KWFN. Get $50 in lineups to play your first $5 lineup. That's a bunch of free play right off the bat. Hey, you can win as much as 2,000 times your money. And then when you do win, It's quick to get it back in your account. I've withdrawn from my account several times. You can use Apple Pay, Venmo, MasterCard. It's quick and easy. Got my money within 15, 20 minutes or so. It was not a problem at all. It makes me feel good about Prize Picks. And look for those special squares with the start of football season. Look for those more than 1/2 of 1 yard on a quarterback passing. So easy to add that to a winning lineup. With Prize Picks, run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
I've actually been a little bit jealous of Woods. Just wrapped up his season-long picks competition in golf.
Yes,
which
my
is
pick
you
dynasty.
wouldn't think that Woods would be obsessed with the PGA Tour.
Obsessed with it.
But every week, all year long, he has to pick a different golfer. So once you've used that golfer once, he's out.
Yes.
And he's in a pool with a lot of people.
Hundreds of people.
And Woods made it all the way to the end, finished top 5.
I think top 5.
Won the playoffs. You had not Tommy Fleetwood, but you had Scotty Scheffler, and you saved him until the end.
Yep.
Great strategy, and have done really well. But it was very interesting to see what happened at the end of the FedEx Cup playoffs. So Tommy Fleetwood winning the FedEx Cup championship. Everyone loves Tommy Fleetwood.
Everyone loves Tommy Fleetwood.
I don't know. In my time, I've seen some beloved athletes. Like Tony Gwynn is the most beloved athlete I've ever met. Tommy Fleetwood on the PGA Tour gets to those levels. Like everybody on the PGA Tour just thinks he's the greatest guy, nicest guy, and they all felt like so bad for him that he has come so close to winning so many times, and then finally comes through and wins the entire title at the end, which was kind of crazy.
How much did he win?
Well,
$10 million.
Yeah,
10?
just for the tournament,
Just
the
for
$10
the
million
tournament.
and the FedEx Cup bonus.
What's that? He won the FedEx
The Tour
Cup.
Championship, and the winner of that Tour Championship is the FedEx Cup winner. Now, that's because they changed the rules, though.
Right.
Because at the start of the year, you were going to have the staggered start. So
Right.
Scotty Scheffler would have started at 10 under, and then whoever was second, Rory, whoever would have been at 8 under, and it would have gone down. Had they had the old rules, Scotty would have beaten Tommy Fleetwood by 1.
Wow.
Which probably would have been the most heartbreaking result that you could have
Oh.
imagined for Tommy, that he actually wins the tournament, but doesn't really win the tournament because he started too far behind Scotty Scheffler.
I was blown away when I saw when it was over. He was hugging this grown man, and he was hugging this dude. And I went, "Oh, it's got to be his brother." They're like, "And that's Tommy Fleetwood's stepson." I went, "Well, he's like 35." So I ran to my computer. I put Tommy Fleetwood's stepson. He's got 2 stepsons. He's a stepdad. His wife is 23 years his senior, and they've been married forever. And his stepsons and him are super, super tight. The kid was crying. He's like, "Oh, you're all right. You're all right." I mean, he is just the greatest dude on the planet. And I loved his press conference. He goes, "It's all about being a good person first and being a good golfer second." And I just was like, man, I know that we all love the killer, you know, the Michael Jordan, the Tiger. We love that. We absolutely love those killers. I also am a big fan of guys like Tommy Fleetwood. I'm a huge fan of those guys.
And Tommy always took the second place finishes in stride.
Such grace.
And said, "Look, I put myself in a position to win."
That's it.
And don't you think Jordan Spieth would like to be in a conversation where he's putting himself in a position to win?
100%.
And he's not.
Not at all.
This phenom, this absolute
the
Jack
next
Nicklaus
big thing.
next Tiger hasn't been competitive in years.
Yep.
And Tommy's like, "I put myself in a position to win. It didn't work out. Someday it will, but the most important thing is I put myself in a position to win."
I didn't have the guy that was going to win the league had him, and I didn't. I had who was my last pick? Benny?
You picked Robert McIntyre.
Robert McIntyre, who finished fine. But I'm rooting. This guy's going to beat me. He's going to win a lot of the money, and I'm rooting for Tommy Fleetwood.
Sure.
That's how much how happy.
So
I was.
it illustrates what Major is saying, though. Illustrates something that we have done as sports fans for a very long time in this country, and that is we're much harder on the person or team that finishes second than the one that does a decent job, finishes 6th, and we don't think about them. But we really hold feet to the fire when someone keeps finishing second.
Yeah.
And which is wrong. You still
It's the
beat
Ricky Bobby rule,
everybody
yes.
else. Yeah. Second's better than everybody else, but somehow we have turned it into this, like
loser,
like this mark of shame.
The first
You're-
loser,
You're
yeah.
the first loser. You're the second. Doesn't matter what you finished. You finished second. Well, no, honestly, that means he's done really, really well by finishing second. The team that didn't win the World Series, they finished second though.
Won a pennant. Great
30
job.
teams won a pennant.
Yeah. Think about Jack Nicklaus. 17 major championships, 19 second place finishes.
Bananas.
Can you believe that?
Bananas. I can't.
Can you believe
It's
that?
staggering. It's staggering.
19
And I
major champion, second place finishes. I don't think he was bummed out. I mean, I'm sure he wanted to win, but look, that's how you win 17 by finishing second 19 times.
That's right. That's right.
Being good enough to be that competitive, that relentlessly.
No, and it's funny. I'm like, I'm like wildly disappointed that the golf season is over.
Yeah.
Wild.
Well, we
And
got Ryder
everyone-
Cup. We got Ryder Cup.
Ryder Cup, of course, which is brilliant. Everyone's excited for football season. I'm lamenting the end of the golf regular season.
Tomorrow actually is the day that Keegan Bradley makes his choices for the Ryder Cup.
Yes.
The captain's picks, and the big, obviously, decision is whether he chooses himself, because he did not qualify. But he has been one of the better golfers this year and certainly could choose himself. I think he's probably feeling very torn about it.
No doubt. I want, Paulie, you have the story that you texted us yesterday for the Reindl Report, yeah? The schedule?
That's not...
Is it today?
Been done
It's
yet.
supposed to come out today, but
it's not out
They
yet.
have not released the new schedules yet.
That was just a report. Somebody thought they heard it.
Okay.
That, the next year's schedule comes out
But the
today.
rumor is the baseball schedule comes out today for 2026.
is that right?
Yeah,
I looked it up. Last year it came out like July 18th. So they've been like slacking this year. It's usually like the end of July, early August.
Well, I hope they're working, using that time to do a better job.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I'm fully
Take
on
all
board
the time
with
you need, folks.
That's
because
true.
What you produced this year, not sufficient.
Not sufficient at all, especially when it comes
suboptimal.
Yeah, Padres Dodgers. Like what? It didn't make any sense.
It's
how
fine.
they
Just
did it.
4 series is fine. Spread them out a little bit.
Spread
more.
them out.
April,
twice in 2 weeks, and that was
June.
it. The entire year.
Give me like April, June, July or August, and then September.
Yeah. Make it interesting.
But you're also trying to minimize travel, and you're not, trying to send people back and forth across the country just so you play the Dodgers, an appropriate amount
think
of
about
time
how
in
sick
between
it
the two
was
series.
last year. We clinched a playoff spot against the Dodgers.
Yes.
Turned the triple play. It was awesome. Now imagine playing the Dodgers in a 3-game series in the last week of the season for the division.
Right. Forget it. You'd have to knock me out. I think, because I wanted to plan our Ben and Woods road trips next year live on the air because, I haven't traveled enough in 2025. I got to get back on the horse.
Well, if it does, in fact, come out today, we can kill a segment tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
So we will come back, though. Paulie's got his Reindl Report headlines, everything that we missed on this program today. We'll wrap things up with Major Garrett, all coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
I want to get quickly before we get to the Reindl Report. Major's thoughts on how you opened the show and your story about Trevor Hoffman.
Oh, I don't know if you heard it.
I
didn't.
Did you? You didn't hear it. Reset this quickly.
Which part?
Well, I just want to know what he thinks about the lifetime membership.
Well, I went to a gym that I've frequented for many, many years. And when I first started in radio 15 years ago here in San Diego, we were called. The new gym was opening up, and they called us in, wanted us to help with marketing. And they said, we'd like to offer all of you guys a lifetime membership to our gym. Lifetime. And I said, well, that's incredible. And I went in yesterday, and I walked into the gym, and I checked in like I normally do, but I had my headphones in. It just did the green beep, and I saw the green pop up, put it in my lock, put my keys in my locker, and I go, oh, look who's here, Trevor Hoffman. So I start shooting the breeze with Hoffy, and I go over to the rowing machine to get the heart rate up. And I clip in one foot, I clip in the other foot, I grab the thing, and I'm ready to go. And as I start to pull back, the guy standing in front of me goes, are you Stephen Woods? And I said, yes. He goes, could you come with me, sir? And I said, sure. What do you need? And I walk up, and he goes, we have a problem with your account. And I'm like, well, I mean, I have a lifetime membership. What kind of problems could you possibly have? And he said, that's
don't you know who I am?
Yeah. He said, that's expired. And I said, but I haven't expired. So I'm still here.
See, I'm the lifetime part of the lifetime membership.
And I was so embarrassed. And Hoffy looks over, and they're calling me to the front desk,
Right.
And I'm like, in Hoffy's mind, he's like, damn, dude, what's he? Needs a little something for the effort here. Like, I mean, how much is the gym membership?
I didn't know you were so stretched, bro.
$10 a month, maybe, right?
Hey guys, Trevor Hoffman here. I'll sponsor this guy's membership if you don't mind.
They call me up, and the girl's like, yeah, it's over. And I'm like, how are you going to call something a lifetime membership? And I'm here, and I'm still alive, and I'm ready to work out, and you banged it from me, and I don't know what to do. So then she pulls out the menu. And I was like, I just wanted to work out. She goes, I'll tell you what, I'll I'll cover this one today. Day pass is usually $15, and I'll cover this one. I'll have you as my guest, and then if you're inclined, you come back in. We can sit down and go over the other memberships. And it's over. It's over.
It's over.
It's over. I'm mortified.
So there are new corporate overlords of this gym
that aren't honoring the previous commitments of the original owners. Is
and
what
they're
I'm
like,
thinking.
15 years is basically
it's
life.
long enough.
That's right.
And this is possible because this happened to me actually at Channel 10. It could just be a technical glitch. So we installed like a key card system about 15 years ago. And most employees come and go every 2 or 3 years. You don't stay in TV forever. But I've been there forever. And one day, about a year and a half ago, my key card wouldn't let me in. It was like, and I was like a little worried, like, why is that? And they said,
oh boy, bring your playbook.
Well, when we assign the key cards, we just put like an expiration date of like 15 years in the future for everyone.
Right.
And yours actually just hit. So maybe they just kind of put a random, like thinking, oh, well, just put 15 years on here. That should be enough for a lifetime membership, and didn't realize.
Don't tell me that Trevor Hoffman is not a lifetime member.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And deservedly so.
Exactly.
Don't misread me.
Way
Trevor.
more important than me for sure. But I just was like, oh yeah. Imagine Hoffy going up. Hey, it's okay, guys. He's a friend of mine. Just let him fly. He's good. He's good. I'll vouch for him. I was.
Now you know Hoffy from fantasy camp.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, just from interviewing him over the years and being at camp with him, he was an A+ human being.
Can't wait. I will be a camper for the very first time.
I cannot wait for this, man. It's going to be elite.
All right, let's
check. By the way, you have to do radio with us every day that we're there. Just so you know,
it's part of the
Fantasy
deal.
camp radio.
Part of the game.
That's right.
Let's check traffic
from the trainer's table.
That's right. And Paulie will get us some headlines for the Reindl Report to wrap things up next.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Well, the roads are winding down pretty nicely. Just a couple problems here. One of them is a crash at the clearing stage, northbound 15, right at the northbound 805 connector. It's over the right shoulder, and a crash clearing on westbound 8 near Jackson Drive. Everything over the right shoulder. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3, The Fan.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right. Happy Tuesday, gentlemen. Major, welcome to the Reindl Report.
I'm so happy to be here.
Just a couple of stories that we haven't gotten to yet today. Going to start off in Major League Baseball. Babe Ruth was in the news yesterday.
I saw this. This is amazing.
Not Babe, but George Ruth.
George Herman Ruth.
Yeah.
Is,
AKA
was
the
in the
Babe.
news yesterday, and he was charged with 91 counts against him. We're not talking about Babe Ruth. No, we're talking about a 69-year-old man from Morristown, Tennessee, whose legal name is George Herman Ruth.
Yeah.
And he has been using the names of hundreds of dead former professional baseball players to make fake and phony claims for payouts in class action settlements.
Bananas. George Herman Ruth, the Babe.
Yeah, it says here, George Herman Ruth is charged with mail fraud, aggravated identity theft, fraudulent use of social security numbers, money laundering, making false statements to his probation officer, and possessing firearms after having previously been convicted of felonies.
So he's just going through like baseball reference and finding old names. Yes, I am Mr. Blue, Mr. Vita Blue.
Yes, it's me, Mr. Moonlight Graham.
Yes, I did own a Volvo in 2007, and you owe me $172 in this lawsuit.
So it's all class action. It's all class action.
It's a class
I
action
believe
lawsuits.
so. All of it, yeah.
I'm Kilvio Veras.
It is. I saw it yesterday. I go, George Herman Ruth. I mean, kudos to his parents for wanting to
sense of humor.
Yeah, sense of humor.
It says here, he obtained or attempted to obtain more than $500,000 through this scheme. He was seeking out payouts in lawsuit settlements that ranged from contact lens pricing allegations to claims of racial discrimination.
I did live at Camp Lejeune in the 1970s,
Right.
So yes,
he opened over a dozen P.O. boxes in cities throughout Tennessee for
Seems
himself.
like a lot of work. Just get a job. Just get a regular job.
The length that some people will go to avoid work, the work that they will do to avoid working is pretty insane.
It says here, I'm reading, the indictment does not have the list of every but retired former player that he's used.
Yeah.
It just says, it describes some of them. Some players played for teams like the Philadelphia Athletics, the St. Louis Browns, and the Kansas City Packers. So I'm thinking he had to go back in the archives.
One of my favorite Leo DiCaprio movies, Catch Me If You Can.
Brilliant. Man.
The amount of work that he had to do just to avoid
The whole movie.
Living a legitimate life.
He could have gone to pilot school and learned how to fly. It would have been great.
Or
medical school.
Whatever he wanted.
That whole movie makes my stomach turn. The whole movie. I'm like, how do you do this? How do you cash those forged checks? Like, it makes me sick. I don't have the stomach for crime anymore at all. It's a good story. I love that one.
We'll move on here. The NCAA announced a partnership with Venmo. And the first thing I thought of was, you guys remember the story from like a week or two ago? The college quarterback at Oklahoma, who everybody had gone through his Venmo history and saw that he was. Now, he claims it was an inside joke. You can choose to believe whatever you want, but the Venmo payments were USC versus UCLA bets.
Gambling money.
Sports gambling.
Yes.
USC versus UCLA. Now, he claims, I didn't bet when I was a college athlete. Of course, I would never do that. It was an inside joke. You guys all don't get it. That story kind of just died off. This is not connected to that, though. This is the NCAA and Venmo announced a partnership. I believe this morning it was official, and it's aimed at combating bullying and people looking into these kids for requesting them for money, unsolicited scammers, all of that. And so it's going to feature a dedicated hotline for all college athletes that can report abuse or harassment. Hey, this guy keeps requesting $100. I'm not
lost his parlay.
Right. I lost his parlay.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It says an education on account security, increased monitoring of their accounts. So I think this is going to be ultimately a good idea for college athletes.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Because you should be able to Venmo your buddies for lunch or coffee or whatever and not have to worry about, again, some guy.
You could just go and make everything private on your Venmo. It's not that hard
just make
to
your Venmo
do.
private. But it's always the guy with the $5 parlay that ends up in the, San Francisco Giants pitcher DMs telling him he wants him to die and
could have won me $200.
You would have won me $200.
And look, this is what every sports league, the NCAA included, but Major League Baseball, NHL, NBA has to reconcile itself to. You all went on online gaming for more fan engagement.
Correct.
You got it. This is the downside, the inevitable, predictable downside of quote unquote fan engagement. It is not engagement anymore. It is borderline harassment.
It is harassment. Yeah, no question. I can't imagine writing an athlete about a parlay that he lost me. I just can't.
Or even worse, the athlete's wife or
it's terrible.
Child or something.
Awful.
It's pretty out of control right now. And then finally, I just got some funny audio. Thought I'd play it here. There was a TikTok that went viral of a woman who had a dermatology appointment and she got a call back. She missed the call, went to voicemail from the dermatology office. And she was diagnosed with, they found a bacteria. It's called Pantoa. And when you have like a long word, you're going to try to describe, maybe spell it out phonetically or whatever, and maybe use, alpha, bravo, A as an apple.
I'm bad at that.
Stuff like that.
I'm really bad at it.
Just use the, the NATO alphabet.
I can't do that either. I don't know.
Zulu, Charlie,
I'm not
Bravo,
good at it.
Echo, Tango.
Yeah, exactly.
A for apple, Emerson, Mary.
Well, then if you weren't very good, you might have actually fit in
for
very well.
onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
You might have fit in pretty well with this dermatology office. Let me pull up the voicemail here. Just take a listen to this. The internet found this to be very funny.
Hey, Haley. This is Kat with Babcock Dermatology. I was giving you a call to go over that bacteria culture that we did here in clinic the other day. So the bacteria came back, or the culture came back with a big bacteria called Pantoia species, and that is spelled P as in pork.
They're laughing.
You can hear her coworkers laughing.
She's dying.
Sorry. A as in apple, N as in new. I'm so sorry. Okay, T as in tree,
right.
as in orange, E.
At this point, you're like, what the hell do I have again?
P as in pork, A as in apple.
Pantoia species, and that is spelled P as in pork.
That sounds like something that might be on my mind.
How do you think she got the bacterial thing? It's from the pork that she ate. Raw pork. I am crying.
Yes.
Why didn't we open the show with that? That's like the greatest audio I've heard in years. Just spell it. P-A-P-L-O, whatever. Oh my God.
I mean, if we did we could do an alphabet of Ben. P as in
Petco Port. Pound Town.
Pound Town. P is in Pound Town.
I'm pretty sure I have enough Ben drops. I could do the whole alphabet.
We'll look forward to that then tomorrow.
All right.
Major, thank you for coming in studio
Always
with
a
us.
pleasure, gentlemen.
We're going to record off the air. Braden's
Always
coming
a
up next
pleasure.
live here for Paulie Reindl, Stephen Woods. I'm
Write
Ben
it down.
Higgins.
It's a victory tonight.
Have a great rest of your Tuesday. From all of us here at 97.3 The Fan, we'll talk to you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.